Good evening, Randomania, and welcome to the latest in the Final Fantasy Spring Tournament. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and I am joined by a very special guest in the booth, Mr. the Tarnin. How are you doing today, man?
I'm alright. A little bit anxiety-ridden. This is the first time I've done comms for one of these things, so that's exciting and a first.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
How are you doing?
A little nervous. Doing okay, I think.
Yeah.
We've got two brand new runners today.
When we say brand new, we mean brand new.
Oh, yeah. We've got DemonRHK and we've got Grendylicius, and they're running identical parties, but they didn't do a draft. They came to this decision all on their own. What do you think about Fighter Thief White Black?
Well, truth be told, I hate that there are two utility picks, and I think that that's going to slow them down quite a bit, and means that if there's a tough Topher, it might be hard to...
But the guaranteed magic is nice, though, right?
Yeah, it's nice, especially being a newer player, knowing that if you see something in a shop, you're going to be able to use it. And it looks like we're off. We've got Grendylicious checking the magic shop, and we see a scimitar and a hand axe. Long swords, but they're out of the price range, so nothing to write home about here. I missed the white magic check. We've got Ice 2 and Temper. Nice to know that we've got Temper, and nice to have a clearing spell. And Ice 2 is a pretty good one for the early game.
Nothing impressive, but nothing disastrous out of level 1 magic, I think. This is perfectly fine for just stomping into Topher, rolling over a Garland.
Yeah, you know you're going to have plenty of Temper at the end. You know you've got something to clear the early game, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Item
Oh.
shop. Expensive houses, cheap tents, very cheap heals.
The cheapest heal pots I've ever seen.
Yeah, 9's pretty impressive. 25 gold tents is pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Demon's the first one out of Canaria. Walking through the forest, wanting to take an imp fight, it looks like.
I don't dislike the imp fight for safety. It gives us extra spell charges in case there's a lot of unrunnable stuff in TOF. It gives us hit points in case something has, I don't know, heat or whatever. We can survive that.
Oh my.
Well, that's a lot of imp grimps.
That is a group 8 encounter that also rolled the highest. Grindy looks like he does not like his white mage and wants it to no longer be part of the party, getting cast out of the island. I love the taking an imp fight. I love it more than I should. But it makes it so that those wipes on Garland almost never happen. It makes it so you don't have to walk back to Toe for the second time. So I really like that from Demon.
Looking at the armor shop, I see silver bracelets for sale. If we get a lot of cash... they were 1900, somewhere in there?
Okay. 1900 is pretty decent for silver bracelets.
Yeah, like if we find like an 8,000 chest or whatever.
Chain or iron?
Yeah, well, can't have everything.
Yeah. But those are really the things that you look for. Although without a red mage, the chain becomes less relevant. Grendy, despite being the second one out of Canaria, is the first one into Temple of Fiends. Immediately goes to check the chest. 11,000 gold. Seems good. 7 gold, less good, and a cabin. So the 11,000 gold is good, and then 2 literal duds.
Yeah, I mean, Topher has been kind of stingy, I think, for a lot of these starts, except for the race I watched earlier today where the first box they opened was Canal. That was nice.
Well, the 11,000 is pretty nice, because you said 2k silver bracelets, so that should be able to get their 3 squishy people less squishified.
And it's the closest box to the entrance, so if there is a wipe, it's easy to get that gold back again.
And knowing that the top 2 are both duds means you don't even have to, like, fret about, oh, well, maybe I might want that box. It's 7 gold in the cabin. You don't. Grandy first to Garland. We got Ice 2 over Temper. What do you think of that decision? I think it was a good decision, given that the fighter's dead, and we have reset. Demon also going for the Ice 2 instead of the Temper play.
Yeah, without a solid weapon with which to temper against Garland is kind of like last resort area. So we got us a bottle. Alright.
I think that if I had had Iron Armor, I would have preferred the Temper over the Ice 2, but in their current state, I think the Ice 2 was definitely the...
Yeah.
Crystal in the bottle means that Matoya check will be a good check. The bottle kind of worthless right now, but hey, at least you have it.
Yep. Provoca and then Matoya, or Matoya and then Provoca?
I would Provoca and then Matoya. I like having the extra key item. I like seeing the extra chops for if you get Warp or Life or, something that might save you a few seconds here or there. But largely, I think it's irrelevant.
Yeah. Personally, I prefer Matoya into Provoca on the off chance that Matoya hands, like, Canoe. And basically only Canoe. I think that's the only thing that I would want to see that would alter routing after that.
Because then you could walk right instead of left, I take it?
Yep.
That's an interesting argument. Checking Matoya first also gives you some chance of having found the canal first, so that might let you mentally prepare better.
Right.
And Demon is on the scene. It looks like he is picking the Matoya answer to the question.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good run.
Mm-hmm. Do we have game sound?
You might not. Through the magic of the internet, that might not be a thing I'm able to do without, like, giving you all the echo.
Awesome. Do our viewers have game sound? Viewers, do you have game?
Oh yeah, the viewers should be hearing everything.
I see. The broom is getting in the way, blocking Demon in Matoya's cave for a while.
Oh boy. So I saw, I believe that was Grimps with Cremate, and that was Matoya holding the rod, which...
Yeah, Matoya with the rod.
I don't want to do Earth. Don't make me do Earth.
Yeah, which increases the likelihood of an early Earth, but doesn't necessarily mean it.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, over on Grendylicious' side, I'm seeing two-man strats, and I'm confused and intrigued.
Ooh, what are they? Fighter Black Mage, I would presume?
Fighter Black Mage.
Interesting. Good luck, Grindy. I hope that works out.
Yeah.
Ted Garland on Grindy's side.
So
and
Grindy...
Crystal and Bottle.
Mm-hmm. As Demon makes it into Provoca, we're going to check magic shops first. What do we got? Level 2 white magic. We've got Tier 3 Ruse.
Yeah, Ruse might be important for getting through Topher with this party.
Exfer? Ooh, Exfer opens a door for cheeky Brack stuff.
Exfer was just purchased, yep.
And then Lightning 3 Zap, I guess.
Lightning 3 is really nice to see here, since so few things resist it, and that Ice 2, while it will get you through the very early game, it won't get you through things like Earth. If they have to go there, it won't get you through dungeons after that very much.
Right, and Silver Swords for under 1,000.
Yeah, that's a nice Silver Sword get there.
So... now we're off to Bicky.
No safety save before Bicky, that's bold, I like it.
We're not off to Bicky, we're off to the item shop. No vendor item.
Nothing to write home about.
Armor shop.
Max price gold.
Oh boy.
So we're in. So no help there. Also, hey Avos, hey Shadowwalker, hey Space Drake, hey anyone else who wants to say hi in Twitch chat so I can say hi back.
Say hi to Tarnan, everyone. He's happy to be here. He'll take your questions. Throw him a line.
Hi Thundercloud, how you doing today? We got the Ice 2 finally getting its turn order, taking out the rest of the pirates, and we're going to see what Vicky has for him.
Alright, Bicky, save us from our fate of Earth Cave.
What are you hoping to see from Vicky?
That's... I did not want to see TNT.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about TNT, because, like, here, I would be making the decision matrix of, do I go to Marsh, or do I check Dwarves first? And that collapses that matrix to, you go Dwarves now, because you have a reason to go.
Yep. And speaking of things...
Red Mage or Black Mage? Red Mage for literally everything in the game except for casting level 8 spells or having to run away from things. So if you like taking fights, Red Mage all the way. I know you're a newer player, Shadow Walker, so that really makes sense that you're asking that, and like that you're thinking about party composition here.
Oh, that's a solid burn. Speaking of things that we didn't want to see, I spied, with my little eagle eye, out of the right side of our screen, we've got imps with Fire and Gaze, and the second spell on their list is Fire 2.
Wow, those are some friendly imps. Good
yeah.
Good that those didn't cause problems during the part of the game where imps were a bigger part of it, but always fun to see unsafe imps. Evening Demon, welcome to the stream. We're on our way to Dwarves to see what that TNT turns into, see what those top 2 chests are. Last chance to have a canal and not have to walk into Marsh is in these 2 chests.
Here we go. What do we got? We got a chair. We got a wooden helmet. Hey,
wooden
we did it.
Okay, so Marsh not definitely required. Could
Hooray!
Still do. We've got a Hooray Dwarf check from DemonRHK. Evening, Caleb. How you doing tonight? This is 2 of our brand new players.
Sir?
You cannot get to that door, Demon. You need a...
Uh-oh.
That door is locked with the mystic key.
And that wasn't a key at all. That was a bracelet.
Which, at the moment, is going to make that fighter more sturdy, but eventually is going to make either that thief or one of the mages sturdier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm here for the duck hype too, Caleb.
It's real good so far.
Again. I know, I'd get stabbed. I love new players getting into the game. I love the excitement and the energy and the learning process.
So we've got... So Grendy is going to clean up the pirates, get the TNT news. Demon is headed out. Headed towards Melmond. I don't know if this is a pit stop or if we're actually making an Earth dive.
Checking magic. We've got in white magic,
Ooh.
heal free and fade.
Both of those white locked.
Yep. And in black magic, we've got...
Fast.
Okay. Coover, welcome to the stream. 2-person strats is pretty uncommon in the randomizer. There are a number of players who it's the thing that they do. For newer players, it's pretty uncommon, but we'll see how it works out for Grindy if he continues that way. There's less time on AoEs hitting you and less time spent putting on inputs, but it's obviously riskier because you have less things to fall back on if things don't go perfectly.
Demon headed straight to Earth Cave. I can't help but, you know, I'm encouraging him. I want him to succeed at this.
Yeah, I mean...
I have complicated thoughts about Earth Cave.
I'm hoping he's going to check this trap tile. Maybe this is an early grind for levels. He avoids the trap tile, which is good, and then resets without checking it, okay?
I mean, we do have one other room,
Sure.
Potentially. It's not a grindable room, but at least we can get the information before we blindly blunder into it on B2.
Literally taking out some cobras. While Grindy continues doing the inner sea checks. See where Grindy decides to go after Dwarf. That'll be interesting to see. Alright, we're checking the tile here.
Oh boy. Trolls with Cremate.
Ambush trolls with Cremate.
And then zombies that punch through an opal bracelet. Yeah.
That opal armor might be worth to make a mental note of to come back for later if dragon armor or the other opal armor is not found.
Grindy also gets his canal. Snubs the Hooray Dwarf. That's...
I like Grindy better already.
Why don't people like joy in their lives? We got a dwarf right there you talk to. He's so happy to be there.
Yes, Fizzle, some of us are worried that we might turn into bubbles. Yeah, Shadow knows what it is. You can't waste that quarter of a second saying hello.
Sure you can. You can waste as much time as you want on the common courtesies. FFR, Courtesy Simulator 2020. So Demon is going to go ahead and dive further down. What are your thoughts on had he just checked the first floor and bailed and headed elsewhere? Would that be a yay or a nay in your book?
Well, I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Sure.
Where would he bail to right now?
Crescent.
Yeah, so that's the question. Is it worth trying to dig out part of this, or to go to Crescent to see what the other incentivized item is?
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I am also on the I don't like Earth train. There's just no XP here, and
Right.
I really like XP. And so spending time not getting XP makes me sad. So
Mhm.
I would go and check that item, hoping that it would unlock something that would give me a chance for XP.
Mhm.
But in defense of the Earth play, if that item is something worthless, something that you don't have access to yet, then it's just wasted time. I mean, it's just 5% XP, but other than that, it does nothing for you. And so, in a race situation, we care about time, and that's time that might not pay off.
Mhm.
But in general, I think the gamble's worth it just because of how much I hate Earth. The other option is checking Marsh, even though it's not forced. Marsh has fights that are absolutely takeable here. Garbage XP, but so is here. But a lot more chests than it has if you're hoping for a loose or for some gear.
So we've got werewolves with Scorch. Given that it's on werewolves, that makes both the Earth and the potential Marsh dives kind of not good.
Yeah. Luckily, werewolves aren't a super common enemy in either, so that's a bit of a saving grace, but it's not something you ever are happy to see.
Mm-hmm. And Grendy's abandoning Earth Cave.
Looks like Grendy is taking the sages.
Yep.
So we're going to get to find out what that item is.
We'll see if we get real happy or a slab.
Yep. Say Hegs with Poison Touch is something you never want to see, not because it risks killing you, but because it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, you keep having to open the menu.
It's not a draft. They opted to go open parties, and then chose to do the same open party.
So
Shadow pointing out that doing 2-man going to Earth here is worse than on a 4-up party. Which I think is a fair argument. Shadow, do you want to expound on that a little?
I can probably expound on that. I think I know what direction he's heading in, because there are so many encounters in Earth that are like 5 to 9 sprites, and because our AoE is acceptable but dodgy, that Earth is going to be probably far more punishment than we're able to take right now. And without Warp, we can't get out, so...
Yep, and with only one AoE caster, as you point out, Earth is full of things with lots of sprites in it, so the amount of turns that happen before your AoE go off is much higher than against, say, like these 3 beats. Hey Weasel, welcome to the chat. Weasel agrees that it's hilarious that they chose an open party and then chose the same party.
DemonRHK is headed the other way towards Crescent. This is probably for an Elflin check, which I wholeheartely agree. Not enough people utilize the bottom Elflin dock, and as I say that, he sails past Elflin, so...
It also might be it's easier to know where you are in your head on the map if you take it the long way.
True.
Check. Which
That's true.
Maybe not a speed check, but definitely helps you feel safe.
It's a lot faster than getting lost in the middle of the ocean when you have no landmarks to steer by.
Yep. As someone who already in this tournament has had to use map strats,
and the old men hand over the crown. Get back in the party bus, we're headed back the way we came.
And the crown is not exactly what you want to see, because it still leaves whether or not you have something open in a quantum state, but it's nice because it gives you direction. It tells you a place to go to. Go here, do this thing.
Yeah.
Personally, given that crown, I would, unless the crown turns into something that gives you more access like the canoe, I would be looking very seriously at Marsh next.
Really? Looking at Marsh next, rather than an Astos check?
No, after the Astos.
Oh, after the Astos check. Yeah, okay. I'm with you now.
Yeah, if Astos, say, gives Thor Hammer or something.
Right.
Shadowwalker points out an interesting thing in chat that neither of these players have checked the level 3 and 4 magic yet.
Very true. On the one hand, I can appreciate only wanting to route Elfland once. Like, you go there with like 40 grand to make sure you can afford everything for your mages, afford a reasonably priced vendor item if it's there.
Invis 2 at 6, we see.
Quadex at 6.
Lock also at 6. So
Yeah, right.
This is probably a comeback to Circle of Sages instead of a let's ignore it Crescent Lake.
Depending on where Nuke and or Fade are, would depend on whether or not I want to come back for the Quadex.
Sure. But is that true if you had this party?
I mean, that's hard for me to know because I have trouble envisioning a scenario where I take this party. Not to say that it's a bad party, because I think that the Thief is good for a theoretical forced Marsh and a probable forced Ice. I think that taking a white mage and a black mage guarantees you all magic, so you're not having to worry about whether or not things land in slots, not having to worry about, like, busting out the cue card that tells you what red mage slots can learn.
Wait, I'm supposed to know, not just try to buy it and then have the vendor tell me no?
I mean, that's what I've been told.
You'd think, for how many thieves I've played with red mages, that I would know which slot at like level 5 and 6 work. 1 through 4, I'm good. 7, I'm good. 5 and 6, those are voodoo to me.
It took forever for me to get the hang of 5 and 6, but I eventually just kind of forced myself to get there, so I stopped just, like, spamming every spell at the magic shop, just going like, can you learn Dark? And it's just like, ugh.
I just, like, draw a picture of it and paste it above my mark. Pro tip, viewers, draw pictures of things and place them above your monitor so you become better at racing.
Yeah,
My current app, which thief swords in the early game are better or worse, pasted above my monitor from my race the other day.
And
Alright, we got that south dock check.
Heck yeah. Plus 20 points for using the South Elfland dock. Here we go. I will say that I had concerns about Grendy committing to a 2-man strategy immediately out of the gate, but one of the fundamentals of 2-man is that you take literally every fight that comes to you, and so far it seems like he's been doing that.
Yeah, 2-man really wants to take as many fights as possible because failing to run with 2-man is awful. But also you need those levels, particularly in the early and late games, in order to make it through those sections.
Hey, it's a tail. We found our vendor item. We hate it.
Yeah, but now we don't have to be checking vendor shops anymore because we know it's there.
True. Fire 3 and Warp at level 4, and Quake, I guess, if you're into that.
Yeah, but Fire 3 and Warp are both good pickups. The Warp in particular is a great pickup, and the Fire 3 on a 2-man party you definitely want to see. Because you want a way to deal with those undead mobs that aren't using a spell slot that you would prefer for other fights.
Right.
33k on the tail is a little sad trombone, but...
It's steep, but by the time we get the floater, we can probably just come back and afford it with no problems. What do we got in White Magic? Level 4, here we go. We got Harm 4, I guess.
And Cure 2, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll take Harm 4. It saves you a charge on the Lich 2 fight to use that to fade during that fight, so it's worth the pickup.
Yeah.
And the rest of the slots being Cure 2 will save you some time, but nothing to write home.
Sure.
And we have a canoe that blows everything open. So where do you go from here?
So, I'll ask you the same question I asked Edgeworth earlier today. We just got the canoe. We don't have a floater. We don't have Oxyale. Do you head for the northern continent and really, really hope you open Oxyale in either Waterfall or Deals? Or do you head for Ice Cave and hope that just the sheer number of boxes over there is going to feed you a loose item?
My answer is that I'm parked on the south of Elfland, so I can go directly south from here and hit Temple of Ordeals very quickly. So that is what makes the decision for me.
Yeah.
If I was parked in Inner Sea, I would probably be going to either Volcano or Ice now.
Okay.
Volcano to pick up some levels and to get all those chests, hoping for a loose. Probably before going to Eye, and we're going to Marsh. Okay.
Really?
Or we're just going around the mountain. One or the other.
I'm curious to find out which. Oh, there was a reset. But we're headed the same direction. This is a Marsh play.
This is a Marsh line.
Wow. Okay.
Cool.
Let me sit up in my chair a little bit. I'm interested to see how this pans out.
Yeah, the race coffee the race tea just finished though. Couple sips in, it's gonna start kicking in. I'm excited.
Alright, what do we got in Marsh Top? Looks like Demon came back and is gonna try and afford a few more spells. Because it's
Go for it.
It's worth pointing out that their progress at this point is essentially even. Like, yeah sure, Grendy won the foot race to Marsh rather than the foot race back to the boat just by virtue of the fact it's closer, but in terms of, like, having accomplished actual things, I would give the edge to Grendy at this point.
I think they're incredibly even. I think that it is too close to call who would have a lead right now. Like, they're both getting to the dungeon that they're trying at this point at the same time. Like, Grendy got to Marsh seconds earlier.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
I always forget just how close Ordeals is to the south dock of Elfland.
Yeah, it's really go down south, dodge the peninsula, and you're there.
Grendy immediately rewarded with an ice sword. That's going to be great until Tail or Mazza or something.
Yeah, getting an ice sword early is always just throwing a brick on the gas. It lets you take 1 and 2 enemy encounters with impunity, which can just help you with your XP curve. And on a 2-person, that's even more.
And he's got warp charges.
Yep. Warp charge.
I think he had 3 of those, but...
Demon doing the cheeky trap tile check.
Oh, wham.
Not a good trap tile, but...
Sea snakes can, in theory, roll not very many hit points, but their base is so high that it's just... woof.
And Demon, if you're watching this later and you didn't know, that chest is linked to a chest at the end of this, so it's not a mandatory check. But that trap tile, that's the only instance of it in the whole game, so you might find something there that you wouldn't otherwise ever find. So that can be exciting.
I have a list of the top 10 B-side grind tiles, and Sea Snakes is not one of them.
Sea Snakes is definitely not among them. And the real kick in the pants about Sea Snakes is that their HP, for how annoying of a fight they are, is just really, really high. Even if Falconic, welcome to the stream. So Sea Snakes give you nothing, are often aggravating, appear in giant groups, and if they have a skill list, will just wipe you and have 1,000,000 hit points on top of it.
Yep.
So not the tile you're looking for. And Grendy gets out, drops a tent.
I think that's why Grendy didn't spend all the warp charges getting out, because he knew he didn't have a house, so that he would have to use more warps to get out from Bottom Marsh. Like,
yeah,
this
the Pillar Maze can be really tricky, Space Drake.
Like, I'm really impressed with Grendy's Marsh dive right now. Like this isn't just, like, you know, flailing panic mode. This is calculated. There is a plan at motion here.
Yeah, it was definitely a decision when we saw him walk left around the mountain the first time before resetting and then going back again. This wasn't, oh, I guess I'm here. This was a thing. Ooh, taking some of the free tiles there. I like that move.
Mm-hmm. Reminder to those watching.
On Demon Strain, I would have tried to take a couple times, see how their hit points are. They're usually pretty good XP for a single sprite encounter.
And I go back and forth on whether or not I prefer to take those.
Demon's level, what, 8? He could get to 10 or 12 with that pretty quick.
And as a reminder if you're watching, when we talk about free tiles, there's essentially two things that are worth considering of like what is a free tile, and they always have to do with rooms. The tile in front of a door doesn't advance the encounter table. So if you walk over that instead of around it, you'll have one less step towards your next encounter. The same rule applies to the bottom. Ooh, that's... The same rule applies to the bottom tile row inside a room. So we talked earlier about do you hit Ordeals and Waterfall hoping you get Oxiel, or do you head elsewhere? Well, we got the hoped for Oxiel, and we got it first try.
We did. The place we went directly to had the Oxiel, and so now that opens up the option of getting that Incentive Mermaid chest, as well as all of that free XP that just sits around in Sea Cave. So I really like. I would say that unless we dig out something huge in this marsh cave, that puts Demon in the driver's seat.
And I believe we have one chest left to open. Now it's worth saying that like that ice sword is not going to be nothing for that two-person party, but needed more than that.
Yeah, like it's really nice to have, but we want a little bit more for the time that we spent it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the gamble. I think that it was a wise decision. I think that it was one of the good plays. I think they each took one of the good plays.
Oh boy. Scums with Blaze.
My. Blaze scums are gonna be costly here.
And Thunder.
Sleep Touch, Blaze Thunder scums
Sure.
are enough to make Grindy say, no, this is not worth whatever I found down.
Whatever that other chest was down there is not worth dealing with that.
So the good news is that Blaze, Thunder, and Sleep Touch are now out of the pool of potential things to run into later.
Oh, worth noting it was not actually Sleep Touch. Their first spell was Sleep.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's even worse.
Welcome to the stream. A linked chest is a chest that is in a quantum state with another chest, where by opening one, you have opened them both.
The good example is this...
Different locations, but they are identical chests.
And they can be on different floors. For example, in Ordeals, there's that one chest that's off by itself that has a spike tile in front of it. That is linked with one of the 4 chests right behind where the tail would be at the end of Ordeals. So you only have to open one of those to get the thing that's in the box, and then it'll be out of the other one.
In this race, when we saw Demon go and open that chest in the top right corner of Ordeals, and it had something in it, but then while he was clearing the end floor of Ordeals, one of them said, this chest is empty, because he had already opened that chest. It's just that chest was on a different floor. Hope that answers your question, Millicent.
Where is Grindy going? At first I thought we were headed into the river system, headed towards Volcano and Ice. I'm curious... Ooh, no, wait, we're looping back around. Yep, we're headed... Okay.
Sure. I would take Karib fights along the way. I'm betting you wouldn't.
Depends on level, but those rules go out the window in a 2-man party. Just take everything. It didn't spawn in front of us, kill it.
Yeah, with a 3 or 4-man party in this case. I'm not sure what Grindy's level is. I think it's in the low teens, but with that Lightning 3, I would be taking. I would absolutely.
Blizzard Hydras. And Blaze Hydras!
Blizzard Blaze Hydras. Yeah, absolutely, Millicent.
What irredeemable monster rolled this?
Who did roll this? I think our wonderful tracker rolled this.
Yeah, shoutouts to our tracker Avis, who gave us the fine mess that we're all now witnessing.
And we are into Waterfall.
Sure. Better to hit Waterfall to get levels before hitting C, so we can do C in one go.
Absolutely, and having access to exit makes Waterfall a much friendlier play. Also, Waterfall is chock full of very tasty XP, and it's a relatively short dungeon if you have exit or warp, so you can just dump your spell charges and turn them into levels.
Unfortunately, some of the best XP, the mummy packs, are well chilled in that they're casting Frost.
Yeah. Seems to be a bit of the story of this seed so far.
Yeah. Hey, do you want awesome things? Well, bad news.
Looks like Grendy is going straight to ice.
Okay. So the question is, how... We've committed to this scenario where we're doing Ice and Volcano. Can we kill Carrie? If the answer to that question is no, then I agree with doing Ice first in search of some tool, including just plain old levels, that allows us to get a Carrie kill.
Real talk, I am more afraid of the random encounters in ice than I am of...
I can see it going either way, but I'm more afraid of getting all the way to Carrie and wiping, because I get there without any resources left, and that ice sword is not quite going to cut the mustard, versus getting at least information in Ice Cave, where I can at least know which chests I can skip in the future.
Sure. This is a happy tile to find.
This is one of my top 10 grind tiles. 1 to 2 Gersharks and 1 to 2 Big Eyes. It's not the Gersharks that are the important part. Those Big Eyes are worth an unlikely amount of experience.
Well, and the Gersharks are each an Agama worth of...
Yeah.
So, they're nothing to slouch at, assuming that you can kill them in a reasonable pace.
Yeah.
I would absolutely empty all of my spell charges before warping out here.
Yep. And our prize is... Ooh, a cube.
Ooh, the vanilla cube.
Alright. Not quite useful yet, but we're gonna need it.
Yeah. We don't have Chime yet, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so we're stepping back on the tile instead of warping out.
Nope, wait, let's check inventory real quick. We got... Do we...
Did Dina not have money for exit?
That's a question.
That feels bad. Okay, we're gonna say no thank you on that and try somewhere else.
I don't hate abandoning the cube because it doesn't get us anything until we get the chime, and because our next destination is going to be C, and we'll probably get some levels at least from, like, a mermaid dive, that will let us get back to Waterfall at such a level that we could probably get in, get out, no problem.
We've got a scary undead party pack on the right side of the screen with Grendylicius.
See, they're friendly. They're just meleeing away at what I assume is still the Opal Bracelet. Lightning 3 is not quite as helpful as I think he would have preferred.
And yeah, I think what Demon needs right now is to find a place to get above being level 8. Because all the places that are open to him right now at his current level are a little bit...
Alright, can I gush real quick? Because I just saw something that was amazing and I need to talk about it.
Gosh.
So, we just watched Grendylicious take on an undead pack of just, like, whatever stuff. Lightning 3 goes out. Lightning 3 doesn't quite take down several of the undead, but gets through, like, the Spectres and the Geists or whatever. We've got our fighter who doesn't have any AoE capability, so he's meleeing. Grendy knows that he needs to manage his magic carefully, So what does he do second round of combat? He casts Ice 2. And I know what you're all thinking, but Fizzle, like, undead resist ice. Why would he cast ice? Because he already knew that they were almost dead, so all he needed to do was chip damage them down with a spell that was going to be next to useless in the rest of this dungeon. I love it so much.
Yeah, I love it as well.
He's rewarded for all of this with Blaze Scums, so...
Yeah, but he has the information that Ruby is sitting here, and that Ruby is 2 incentive items right now.
Yep.
And so he's rewarded with the knowledge that, yes, this is a thing I should grind my face against instead of turning and walking somewhere else. Because if that had been a Thor hammer, he walks away.
Right.
So at least he knows. And those scums were on the trap tile, were they not?
They were.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a story both for him and for when Demon gets there.
Speaking of Demon, let's check out our Sea Shrine dive. We're headed towards Mermaids. Gonna check some rooms. We're gonna clear out everything on the way to Mermaids, probably in search of level.
Is something that I never ever want to see ever.
We didn't need that thief anyway. And not only did Lightning 3 roll bad, but the one time it rolled up, it didn't kill anything.
Yeah, and Hurt there, which the reason why he didn't warp out, well, other reason he didn't warp out is he's not high enough level to have a level 4 charges.
Oh.
And that Fire 3 isn't castable to take out that Ghost Pack.
That makes sense.
And he hasn't purchased Warp, which is the other reason, but...
Well,
but
I mean...
doesn't have charges even if...
At least there's multiple reasons.
Yeah, it's absolutely still both players' game. Like, neither player has a sufficient lead that it's a much of an advantage.
I think until one of them finds the floater, that will be, I think, a decisive advantage point.
I think the one decisive advantage that I would say that either player has is the fact that Grendylicius has level. And that is not nothing.
Yeah.
Because levels give you momentum to be able to then gain things in the...
Alright, we got a Ruby part 2.
Ooh! That's now in FC North.
Heck yeah. That's a sword.
That's a good find for later. Doesn't help much now, but definitely a good thing to have and in a chest that most people won't be checking.
And Grendy gets away from the scums. And is rewarded with unrunnable Gasties.
Well, on the plus side, if they roll low HP, he'll get a whole bunch of XP.
Yep, we got no Lightning 3 until they're dead or you are.
Yep, that is your option. I would not be checking... I would be orphaning the second chest if he gets out of it.
Really? I would check it, because if I don't need either of them, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, well, now that the fighter... Once the fighter died, my opinion changed. And yeah, Ice 2 is better than Lit 3 there.
Yep.
But that's a hard thing to know. And so players who've been playing for all of a week, I don't blame for not noticing that.
Is Ice 2 better? Do Gas Dragons not resist Ice?
Gas Dragons are weak against Ice unless I've gone insane. I might have gone insane. Somebody fact check me on that. Fact checkers, where are you at?
Chat, on it. It's okay. The number one rule about comms is you make a statement.
If I agree on something, it's probably right.
The number one rule of commentary is you make a statement, and if you're wrong, chat will correct you.
Cool.
It's kind of handy. So, Grendy's just gonna keep going into this ice cave. I wonder if there will come a point where he decides that he just wants the ruby and out.
I would be at that.
On the other hand, level 15...
If it was anything other than Ruby, I think that I would be seriously considering. But with Ruby being 2 incentive items, there's too much potential momentum in those 2 items that it's worth just coming back later if you need.
So Mermaids, we've got Gold Bracelet Pro Ring, already. And $5, and
Skipping the incentive chest so far.
probably
Saving
leaving
it
it
for
for last.
Say hi to Bubbles! Say hi to Bubbles!
We got white shirt. So yeah, gold bracelet, pro cape, white shirt so far.
White shirt's a pretty nice pickup. You can have that thief and the white mage be double applying Invis 2 stacks for the Kraken 2 fight, which increases your chance of living pretty decently. Even with Ruse being on the knight, you could Ruse Invis 2 white shirt, and if you get turn order, have a pretty good chance of avoiding dying to Kraken's 2's attack. We've got a light axe, that's huge.
Nope, went over.
And an adamant, which is
not
good to
nothing.
have. Who knows?
Yeah. It has just as much chance of turning into a floater as Ruby and Sarda do.
Wait, what?
I mean, it's if we treat it at each location as being an individual thing.
Okay, it has half as much chance.
Look, math is hard.
I'd like to see that gold bracelet equipped.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Okay, we got a warp.
We're headed out.
We are headed out.
The heck with the unkillable grind tiles.
Yeah.
We got a Ruby to go play with.
All we gotta do is survive these wizards.
Honestly, with Lightning 3, not that difficult a proposition. Even with super bad turn order, we're still alive. Even with super bad turn order, the Black Mage is still alive. See, it's fine. Nothing is wrong.
Use those heal pots.
That's the other fun thing about comms. You get to learn how to curse people at will. It's pretty good.
Alright, you got this, Grindy's Black Mage. What's Grindy's Black Mage's name? Sets? You got this, Sets.
More like ready, sets, goes! I have no idea.
And we're out!
Heck yeah.
Alright, now all we have to do is navigate a river system full of Blaze Hydras with only a Black Mage alive, and we'll be fine!
Yeah, see? They just want to dance first, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect someone who wants to dance. I might be safe scumming if I was Sets.
I don't remember if the first run was good or not. I don't think it was.
Oh no, I looked away. What happened that the Wiz Sahag did to Demon?
I also missed the Wiz Sahag problem.
Chat, you got info for us?
We're gonna take a minute to ponder what on earth just happened and how we can make sure it doesn't happen again.
Dangerous with Sahags is terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't the Arcehags, because it happened after they were all wiped out. Yeah.
That's terrifying because A, they're unrunnable and you have to get through them here and C, but also B, it's terrifying because on Waterfloor in Temple of Fiends, you often get the double Gershark 6 with Sahag encounter at least one.
Right.
And if they have something scary, that can...
Well, the beauty of Sea Shrine is that it's only a matter of time until we see that pack again, so now I'm curious.
Yeah. We'll have to make sure to watch more closely. The Ballad of Sets had us too enthralled.
Chat pleading with Grendy to please save his game.
Please save your game, Grendy. It's what Sets would want. Do it for Gren.
Those are some dodgy fish.
Kharifs tend to be dodgy. Their base agility is pretty decent, and so if they ever... Wissax had Frost, and the party was stun-locked. Interesting. Thanks, Falconic.
I mean, I was mostly referring to the ruse.
Oh, I was responding to chat, yeah.
Yeah.
Frost into Trance into Frost. Thanks, Settler.
Wow. Okay. That's a yikes.
Wab feels like he's been in Grindy's situation before. Yeah, I think we've all been in Grindy's situation before. It's a terrifying situation to be in. Okay, now we've just got a few more steps to safety and safety.
Yeah, nothing feels better than getting to town with the one character who's really not built for soloing.
At least it wasn't a red mage. Red mage might have had a silver sword and some chain armor, but could not run from anything to save his life.
I have weirdly good luck with having my red mage run away, but usually only when I have a black mage in the party. I can't explain it.
It's the rivalry. Picking up some Fire 3. Picking up some Cake. Picking up an Adamant. Picking up a Light Axe. Alright, things I'd like to see from DemonRHK right now. I'd like to see that gold bracelet equipped. I'd like to see weapons equipped. I'd like to see him take some fights to stop being in single digits.
At some point, Demon is going to have to commit to just parking somewhere for a bit and just taking...
Gold bracelet equipped! Hype!
Woo! We're gonna have to take some fights at some point just to get levels, and then save, and then we can do some of this stuff. I'm a big proponent of just, like, ignore levels, go wherever, but part of that is I gotta take trash fights along the way to fix my levels as I'm going.
Yeah, right now is not the time to take them since you're just finishing this dive, so you gotta get out and save. But... Level 8. Sandman Ahoy, level may only be a number, but it's a number that generates a lot of other numbers, like hit points, number of attacks, and strength, and number of spell charges, and those numbers are not just a number. Also, welcome to the stream, Sandman Ahoy. Just a few more steps. And Sea Snake Dazzle. Giving him the Dazzle Dazzle. Lock goes down.
The good old hashtag Razzle Razzle.
Thunder.
That's not a razzle.
This is not what you want to see 4 steps from the... Oh no. Poor Demon.
Now,
if I were in Demon's shoes right now, I would be quite tilted.
Yeah, Demon has entered a zone I would like to call Never-Ending Tilt. I'm familiar with it. If you watched my previous race, you would have seen me going through it.
Sunsword. Sunsword on Grindy's side is... Along with the slurp.
Oh boy, the slab. We can't do anything with that.
And we're going to see what that second one is as well. It seems like DemonRHK went to the Fizzlebeef school of smash your face into the dungeon until you get through it.
It's a good school. It's a high graduation rate. Well, technically it isn't graduation so much as we just, like, shove the corpse out the door, but still.
And we'll see what the kindly old man has for Grendylicius here. The old man has a key that opens up a lot of things, a lot of new chests that you can open up, and is required for beating the game, so nice to get out of the way.
Yeah, no incentive locations, but I believe we're still missing both loose.
Yeah. Yeah. We have not yet found a loose.
Yeah.
Do we have any more locations left? The slab turn in, obviously. But other than that, is that the only one left?
We don't even have the slab turn in because we can't get to Lefane without the floater.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean that can occur right now, but
Oh.
we have the slab turn in and the bottle turn in. And other than that, I believe we've got all of our boxes checked except for the 2 loose.
Yeah.
We've gotten the opal bracelet as the only dud item so far. So, really in a quantum state at the moment.
Yeah.
We do not have the ability to say how many loose are required.
So Grendy's gonna take on Earth Cave as Demon. Godspeed, my brave soul. Is just gonna get right back on that seahorse and just keep going.
Yep. Now, I love the X-Cal. It's my favorite weapon in the game. I think that I would be abandoning it here just to get that ruby out.
Yeah, I'd have to go with that.
X-Cal hype indeed, Demon Frog. Welcome to the stream, JLo7. Oh, thank you. Yes, there's the adamant turn in as well. Demons everywhere, Caleb. Demons everywhere. Maybe we'll say hi to Bubbles this time.
Bubbles is gonna block the door. Nope, still not.
She's like, please say hi to me. Warping out. Do we have a house? We do have a house.
We have exactly 1 house, so if we do end up leaving later, we won't be able to refill spell charges. At least it's a short walk to Melmond.
For all the item shops that Melmond has.
Yeah.
To buy new houses. Sad. The Melmond housing market has really suffered late. Falconic, I just read your joke and I love it.
Alright, here we go. Here we go, Demon. This is going to be success. This is going to be, we're going to get out. We're going to get all the way out. We're not going to die to some unkillable menace in the final 5 steps. Here we go.
There won't be ambush ghosts. There won't be... what was the last time? Was it the sea snakes?
Yeah, sea snakes last time.
There won't be sea snakes. We're going to make it out, and then from that, we're going to have momentum to keep going. And then at some point, we're going to take a fight and be double-digit in levels.
No, it's fine.
We are going to take this with Sahag fight because we don't have an option.
Because we have no other choice. We got Lightning 3. We still have Lightning 3. Yes, Caleb. We found the armor. We found armor in this game. It was there all along.
The White Mage is punching with Sahags to death. I approve.
Alright, stop, full heal. No, stop! Stop! Okay.
He was on it. He just wanted to get those stairs first.
Yeah. I've had an uncomfortable number of wipes where, like, you kill the fiend and then you walk further into the fiend's room and then wipe to a trash fight because you didn't heal. That's one of those many lessons that come with bitter, sad experience.
Yep. It's one of those things that the third time it happens to you, you change your behavior.
Yep.
Come on, Demon, just a few more steps, and out!
He's out!
Victory noises play all throughout the land.
So, with the nightmare dumpster that C appears to be, do we even pretend to make a run at Krakenside, or do we just turn the adamant
Level
in?
9? No, we do not. We leave and we turn in this adamant, and we hope that it's the floater, and that gets us. Okay, no, this is even better. I like this. I would be taking this fight, but I like it.
Right.
So we're going to get Waterfall so we can leave with both items. So when we come back, we only have to do Kraken.
Those, the Frostgator Red Creep fights, I believe, are the best experience fights in the Northern River system. So if you're hurting for levels, those are really good fights to take.
Absolutely. The Frostgators will hit you for 200, but they're absolutely a wonderful fight to take.
Sure, but if you're like 5 steps from another inn, like, it's worth.
Yeah. Iron Armor, Power Stick, Opal, and not checking the trappings.
I don't mind that with Grendy specifically, because he's been so good about taking every fight.
Sure. I would have checked, since all 3 were duds, I would have checked 1 at least before pounding reset.
Sure. Question in chat, why is there so much trance? Because it's Rave Night. Because it's Rave Night here on Randomania, watching the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. Hashtag sick beats.
At least the mummies were kind enough to wipe him relatively early.
Mm-hmm.
So that it wasn't a big time waste.
Iron Glove, Silver Helmet, the Defense Sword out of Canary.
And nothing else, but the Defense Sword is enough, especially in this 2-man party. You're gonna want that Defense Sword.
Yeah, that is...
Group 8 encounter! Yay!
We can fit so many dragons! That Defense Sword is borderline required, I think, for a 2-man party in this flag set.
Yeah, that or leveling to an absurdly high level, one or the other.
Right.
I'm very happy to see a Gasky in Waterfall. Gaskies in Waterfall are the thing that I went on my crusade about after last year. So, I'm very, very, very happy to see them in the game.
Yeah, we found so many things we left behind.
And the game is richer for it. Randy, continuing with these key checks, checking key lock toe. And runnable iron golems. These iron golems have been rolling unrunnability more than is statistically likely in races that I have observed. Zap took one of them out. Wonderful.
Wow, I believe that was 3 in 256. There's a reason why those iron goals...
Like 7 in 256 or something like that, but it's low, but not.
Okay. And there's a reason that you've been seeing iron galls constantly as unrunnable.
No, Grindy, no, take that XP out. No.
It's worth noting that iron galls are the B-side of the Garland fight.
Oh, so they're always unrunnable.
Yep.
I am mistaken. That would explain why they've been unrunnable in every match I've watched.
Supposedly, there is a patch in the works. I believe it's on either alpha or beta right now that makes both iron galls and Wiz-Sahag Ar-Sahag runnable encounters potentially.
Welcome to the stream, Cheeseinator. This was not a party draft. They agreed to take open parties and then independently chose the same party.
Yep.
I agree that it's quite surprising, Cheese. And they've both been taking very different approaches to how to handle the party that they each independently took, so it's been a real interesting experience.
Grindy,
I hope that they both watch this back and watch how the other one approached taking the same party, even though they hadn't agreed to it being the same party.
Grindy is desperate for this top right TOF lock to pay off.
Indeed.
And Grendy gives up. Thank you, Grendy.
That's a good giving up, in my opinion.
That is. We committed to that long enough to try and make statistics work in our favor, but they just refuse to, so... And Demon is walking his cube out of Waterfall, or is trying to. Ooh, Mazza detected.
In the Elfland Armory. and an ice shield to go with it. It's like a whole just fighter starter set right there.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with this play of putting the Mazza on the fighter, even though you have the Sun Sword, and not doing some weird putting it on the Black Mage thing that I think some players would do.
Yeah, I'm going to walk through the logic of that real quick, just because I think it's interesting. It is true that you would have much higher melee potential if you had Mazza on Black Mage and then Sun Sword on Fighter. The problem with that is that that is only more efficient in fights where there are 1 or 2 sprites. For anything more than that, you're going to be doing AoE, and then essentially you're no longer swinging the Mazza.
I'm going to take one tiny umbrage with you. I think that it is only more efficient in the case where it is exactly 2 enemy sprites, because in the case of 1, your fighter was one-shotting it anyway.
Eventually, yes, but we're still sub 20.
That's still good enough. Like, below 25, it's at 17 that the breakpoint is.
Right.
So, if he's anywhere near 17, I think that he's going to one-shot essentially anything. So it's only in the case of it being 2 sprites.
That's fair.
Oh, wait, it's not 17, it's 13. Wait, no, I was right, 17. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Is it... I was all set to just rattle off some numbers, and then I realized that none of them were probably accurate. So I will just say that they're below 24. So let's just...
24 minus 11 is 13, so 13 is the level wherein... 13 or 14 is the level wherein it would be.
Alright. And Demon has escaped with his cube and made it to the inn.
Space Drake would be resurrecting the thief and putting the Mazza on the thief. I would probably be doing something similar to that, Space Drake, but that is not the way that Grendy did.
No, Grendy is in fact carving his own path through this seed. It's an interesting path. There's flashes of brilliance in it that I really like, and there's a couple of bits that could use a bit more polish.
I like a lot of what I'm seeing on both player sides.
Yeah. Demon is committed hard to these low-level dives trying to pan out, and he did really well. Oh yeah, like, trust me, I love this, but like there comes a point where you need to reassess what you're getting and what you need to be getting, and he needs to be getting levels.
Did Demon get out of Waterfall or just leave? I
believe he got out with the cube. Tracker states he got out with the cube.
Awesome. Thanks, Tracker.
Shoutouts to Mr. the Avis Ruin, the person that all complaints should be directed to for anything that you find wrong with this seed.
Demon parking his boat on the rivers there. We're going to get to see a 1 hour 7 minute cutscene. That'll be nice. Take a nice break while we read the names of the people who have contributed, some of the names of the people who have contributed to the randomizer.
We got their bridge boss at an hour 06. It's not... I don't want to say it's an uncompetitive time, but the important part is that you kill all the bosses.
Floater. It's Floater.
It's Floater.
He brings Demon much closer to where he needed.
Mm-hmm.
That will allow him to make up a lot of the time that we're lost on those wipes.
Yep. The real... Demon, please save. The real key here is how much trouble that kind of a disaster C is going to pose for Grendy. He's got Lightning 3, so I don't anticipate that Sahag Pack being anything that disastrous. Ghosts could rumble him a bit.
Yeah, the ghosts will rumble him. He has warps, so that's going to make getting out of Waterfall much quicker for him than it was for Demon. And the Witsehek themselves were not dying to a single cast of Lightning 3, so it's still going to be rough for him, but having the levels under his belt is going to make it a lot easier than it was for Demon.
Mm-hmm.
Please get away, Demon. You're so close and you haven't saved. Yay, we're in the air. And we're parking. And we are buying...
Level 6 magic. What was level 6 meant? Oh, Invis 2 and Wall. Yep, that makes sense.
Sure. And we've got Walk and Quadix. I have no idea if they're learnable by a Black Mage at this level.
They should be. I'm pretty sure Black Mage gets access to basically everything 1 through 6, except for Warp.
Demon, if you're watching this back, the advice that I would give to you is probably save a bit more often than you're saving, because at the moment if you wipe, you're going to lose a whole lot of progress.
I will play devil's advocate in that he knows at this point that, like, there have been a lot of setbacks, so he's got to make some more, I don't want to say desperate because that's the wrong adjective, but more aggressive plays to try and claw back some of that time. And any time you spend in the menu saving is time you're not spending moving forward.
Sure. And as long as he doesn't wipe, that is valid. Grindy is, in fact, putting that zap to much better use than I would be putting it to. I don't mean that as some backhanded compliment. It's really impressive.
No, it takes a lot of knowledge to know when to use zap and when not to use zap. It's true, nothing resists time, so nothing resists zap. The problem is that zap's accuracy is so you need to find things that are like... Yeah, 28 accuracy. It's really not good, because we're comparing that 28 to, like, Bane, which is 40, and Brack, which is 64. So, if we... Like, the only thing you need to know is basically the MDef of whatever you're trying to launch it against. Undead, usually vulnerable to zap. Golem's usually vulnerable to zap. Dragons, not so much. Fiends generally don't even bother, except maybe Lich 1 and I guess Lich 2.
But their Lich 1 and 2 are weak to, White Mage's punching.
Yeah, they're weak to a lot of things, but zap is one of them.
Also, they're weak to offering them cake.
Yeah.
Because Lich is afraid of ducks.
It's true.
And we've got a very trolly dragon on DemonRHK side. It does not want to let him at that last guess. That
really
silver hat was that dragon's silver hat, and it wasn't taking any crap from anyone.
It is precious to me.
Yay, saving!
Meanwhile, over on Grendylicious' side, I just noticed the words level 20.
Yeah, Grindy's been picking up the levels. He's been taking fights like he was me, except with 2-man, so being level 20 sounds about right. I feel in many ways that we're watching a new me versus a new you. On the right hand, Grendylicious is taking absolutely every fight because you gotta love that XP, and on the left side we are seeing face roll strats and getting some payoffs by being in the air long before his opponent.
Yeah, on the left side we saw getting ready to turn in the tail to Bahamut. Not quite remembering to go get the tail. That is 100% something I would do.
Ooh, ribbon in that box for DemonRHK. That's a big pickup that the early floater lets him have over his opponent. Yeah, Falconic pointing out, brand new player, brand new Duckling, rocking Fighter Black Mage. This is a thing that's gonna get some Grindy fans.
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of people right now that are cheering for him. He's still got some ground to cover, but I feel like I'm watching Demon try to gamble into first, and I feel like I'm watching the inevitable wall of Grendy closing in.
Yep. Again, very, very...
Alright, we got that tail. We're going to turn that in. We're going to get our class change. Where do we go from here? Is it just to ice?
If you're Demon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to be ice. Hopefully... Demon will notice that he doesn't have the exit that was available or the warp that was available, pick up one or both before going to ice, but then I think ice is very clearly the line here. Alternately, checking trap tiles and becoming not level, what are we, 11?
Something like that,
would be a line here as well, so that you can rumble through the rest. Oh, Demon also has Bottle that Demon can turn.
Oh, yeah.
And does Demon have Slab? I don't remember. And I can't read
Slab was from Ruby. He has not done Ice Cave yet. He does not have Slab.
Okay.
Alright, what do we got in Gaia? We got level 7.
Level 7 magic.
Nuke. Red learnable
Brak.
nuke. Not that they have red mages.
Not that they have red mages, but red learnable nuke.
It's
We've
a
got
fact.
Nuke and Brak hanging out up there. Walking around the weapon and armor shop. Don't want to have to listen to them trying to sell you their wares through their doors. I respect that.
Hey, buddy, I got this wooden shield for you. Not even
I
dented.
have walked around those shops far more times than I'd like to admit. And a Tiny Fairy has a bonk.
Okay. Helpful, but not what we want right now.
Yeah, it means that we've narrowed down our number of loose.
Right.
Or our number of duds. We have 2 of the 3 duds accounted for now.
Right. So at this point, we know we need 1 of the loose, and we're still on the lookout for.
DemonRHK even parks his airship at the same place as you do.
It's a good spot. It's fine.
We got a silver sword there on that ninja. We've got an X-Cow on the fighter, or on the, I guess, knight now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a bonk about to be equipped.
So it looks like we're still looking for chime and loot. And we can almost assuredly know that one of them is loose, and one of them has to be loose, because there's 2 loose, and even if one of them ends up being the Thor hammer, the other one has to be one of those. So
those gargoyles just landed 4 hits on Long.
I don't. This is all right. This is part of why I'm never Earth, especially never early Earth, because there's so many creatures in here that if their melee happens to roll up, they become lethal threats.
Yeah. We only checked one of the chests in that room, which was definitely interesting. That opal bracelet being unequipped is also maybe a little questionable.
I feel like I'm watching an attempt to go fast.
Immediately, I felt really good about.
Oh, right. Avis points out, Demon was here earlier.
Demon already scouted this, so he knew exactly where that opal armor was. Yep.
Yeah.
Point. Thank you. Thank you. Meanwhile, Grendylicius takes out the Chimera and has gotten through the maze. Hits a couple lag frames and starts opening chests.
Yeah, like I said, this is the inevitable wall of Grendy slowly closing in. It's going to be a while before we really feel the pressure, but I think Grendy has started to hit critical mass, and there's not a lot that's going to slow him down at this point.
The lack of a floater is the only thing slowing him down, I would say.
Mm-hmm. But it's only a matter of time till he finds it, because we're in the northern continent. We're going to clear all that stuff. Maybe even take a shot at Kraken.
Yeah, I would definitely be taking a shot at Kraken. Grindy has Mazza, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Grindy has Mazza. He's level 20. I would 100% be taking Kraken out here.
Almost certainly 24 by the time we get down there.
Yeah, with assuming he takes a couple of Gersharks.
Right.
Probably 2 or 3 with Sahag encounters.
Mm-hmm.
1 ghost encounter probably that he'd be forced to take.
Yeah. But boy, it would be nice if we could find either of those loose items right now.
We found the cap in the offering.
Very stylish.
Go right. He does go right. It is a stylish cap, but unfortunately, despite the ribbons tied on it, it does not provide the protections of it.
Yeah.
The style of a ribbon, but none of the protection.
Yeah, if you just like tug and undo the knot of a ribbon and then you just like wrap it around and put like a duck bill on the front of it to make it a baseball cap, it loses all its elemental resistance. Who knew?
it was tied by someone who imbued it with great magical power, and untying it just takes away all the enchantment.
That's the problem with getting clothing from the wizard shop. You have no idea what the restrictions are. Shadow Walker in chat. Routing tip. This is the exact reason to route Ordeals before Waterfall. When you find Oxyel and Ordeals, it allows you to do both at the same time. That is an excellent point. Because...
More relevant in this week than I think as a general tip, but when we know for certain that we need to do mermaids entirely.
Right. Yeah, when we know that sea is incentivized. Or just in general, if we want to do like sea and waterfall all in one shot, hitting Ordeals first, always, unless we happen to already have Oxyel.
Yep. I like taking Kraken early less than I think most people do, so I am much more willing to dive Waterfall without the intention of taking Kraken, but on this week with mermaids being incentivized, that changes the math.
Yeah, I mean, this would be one of those things where I take Waterfall first to get the level so that I can theoretically survive a Kraken dive.
Yep.
Ooh, Ankylos with Lightning 3. Down goes Sets. I think we were headed for Waterfall, but we're going to make a pit stop at the party member store real quick.
Yeah. You gotta pick up a new set of sets.
Demon routing back to... Oh, might have skipped this chest.
Yeah, Grindy already did Waterfall.
Grindy already did Waterfall. It's fine. I'm not paying attention. You're not paying attention. Wait, hang on.
We got 46 heal pots. Checking before we go into the store how many more we need to buy.
Alright, here we go. Gonna get around these bats and see if we can avoid the J. Coper Memorial Bat.
Yeah, welcome to the stream, Nova. It's been a heck of a seat so far.
Yeah. Level 10, 1 hour in, yes, and yet I would still kind of give him the lead at this point. It's been a fascinating thing to watch, like, wiping as forward momentum.
I give Grindy the lead at this point. His levels are just a sufficient advantage. The time it will take Demon to catch the levels, I think, is more than the lead that he has me here.
I think Demon can get there if he finds an okay grind tile.
Oh, I'm not saying this race is anywhere close to over. I think either player has a very good chance of being the winner still.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Fizzle is gaining some reflective awareness. Not on your life, buddy.
Fizzle will never gain reflective awareness. That will not occur. Grindy has gotten them levels by the turn-in method of leveling of just take every fight.
Ooh, and vampires with Glance, turning the knight to stone.
That is a heck of a vampire.
That's awkward. Harm 3 it up.
Harm 3 that vampire to death. Terminated. And yeah, Nova, 2-man strats from a player who's been playing the game for all of a week. It's pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah. I'm enthralled by it. It's amazing.
I think we might be getting some Grindy fans out of this. People who definitely want to watch his race next week as well.
Yep.
Nope, Opal's better than that gold. You don't need to get rid of it. Oh, but it's better than that silver armor if you wanted to get rid of that.
Yep.
Also, the iron armor is better than the silver armor. But the gold bracelet is better than gold.
Let's talk about Final Fantasy 1 gear as a brief aside. Usually, you can plot a progression of how good something is by the name of the item. Like, there's chain armor, and then iron, all the iron stuff is better than the chain thing, and the copper thing, and the whatever thing. And then you have silver. All the silver stuff is better than all the iron stuff.
Oh, but that's not...
Asterisk.
The word silver. If that silver is on a knife, or on a bracelet, or on armor...
Like, it's... Yeah.
It gets complicated.
It gets complicated. Like, the silver armor is... So, all silver gear is better than all iron gear except for armor, in which iron armor is better than silver armor, but red mages can equip silver armor. Final Fantasy 1, it's not always this.
Yes, Demon is taking a fight, and it's a good XP fight as well.
Nachos are a real good experience if we can get something out of this. It's a little awkward that the Black Mage is missing out, but at this point, just take whatever we can get.
Black Mages don't gain HP on level up, so it's okay.
I will sidestep your insult to the lovely Black Mage.
1d4 is not hit points, Shadow Walker.
Sure it is. It could be even 4 of them.
Yeah, she's a native. Silver armor definitely has a place, but I would equip iron armor over it on a front row fighter every time.
I'm gonna give quite possibly an unpopular opinion here. I don't believe in evade penalties. That's not to say that I don't believe they exist and I don't believe they have a statistical benefit or penalty. I don't believe in taking them into account when I'm doing gear decisions mid-run. It's absorb over everything.
Mid-run, I agree.
Endgame,
like,
yeah, but...
If you're about to fight Chaos and you only have one character alive and you have flame armor equipped on that character and you have an opal bracelet in your inventory, I would totally do that switch right before the Chaos fight.
Sure.
This week, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Not that I did that.
And it looks like Grendy is gonna take all of Sea Shrine.
Sure. He believes he can make it through, and I think that he's probably correct.
Yep.
Has Grendy seen the ghosts yet?
He's about to.
Oh, I just commentator cursed someone for the first time.
See, you're getting the hang of it. That's how it works.
I feel bad now. Hey look, for the trolls again.
Yeah. And we seem to be missing a party.
Those trolls have been living up to their name.
Ooh, trolls with crack. That's a painful reset, I think. I remember seeing... Yeah. Like, I remember seeing the ribbon in B4 topside, but other than that, I think we can just skip all the boxes in here.
Squint, thank you. I do still have a heart. It's probably why I don't do comms very often. Because I feel bad when I curse people.
My heart is where it belongs, in a box in the freezer.
Thanks, Cheeseinator. And yeah, I'm not entirely understanding the X4 approach, but...
It might have been in preparation for an Instadet. Like, I don't know if he has Bane Sword or not. It might have been in preparation for Bane Sword that was, oops, not on this character.
See? That could be. Can't hold Pro Ring. I bet you I can. I'd love to see that ribbon become equipped on someone. I'd love to see that Pro Ring also become equipped on someone.
Now, parallels have been drawn so far, and I would be remiss if I didn't suddenly remember the race that I lost because I forgot to equip a ribbon, and the race that I lost because I wiped in Topher because I forgot to equip my Opal Bracelet on my Red Wizard. We're seeing a lot of parallels being done here, but we're seeing them being done very quickly, so I have high hopes that Demon will overcome any difficulties and possibly still take this.
Yeah, he's got really great equipment. I agree. And he has shown a number of times so far a willingness to go to the equip menu and put them on. So I hope that occurs as well. We got some bulls over on Grindy's side of the screen. We got some giants over on Demon's side of the screen, both full of, 10 sprites, fights at the same time.
Cremate Grimps is gonna make the 4th floor of this Earth Cave rough. I mean,
Yeah, This Earth Cave is not level 11.
This is a lethal place without sufficient resistances.
There are too many things. The trolls, the Grims.
Yep.
To be able to make it through 5 floors consistently. At level 11. Avos, do you have eyes on what level Demon's Party is at the moment?
Yeah, I think he lost the levels in the wipe. Yeah, I think we're...
Okay, we are. Okay, good.
Back to 11 sounds right,
I mean,
yeah.
Not good, but thank you for confirming.
Yeah.
Frost mummies as well, on this Earth.
This is the worst Earth Cave.
Grindy opened the 3 freeish chests. Let's see if he takes the Sharknado tile as well. With 2 loose in the pool, I gotta imagine that you have to. Grindy disagrees.
Oh, okay. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and give our runners a follow, because gosh dang if they haven't been earning it so far tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They've both been putting on a really good show. Ooh, Grindy taking the long path on Kraken's floor. Kraken's floor is a really dangerous floor to be taking this many extra steps in.
I will say that until someone actually showed and painted a map for me, I thought that was the short way.
Okay. Grindy, if you're watching this back later, this is extra steps on Kraken 2's floor. If you go the other way, it's quicker. And not just quicker time-wise, but number of steps taken directly equates to number of fights you have to take on a floor, so...
Yep.
Yeah, Avos, we're learning a lot from this. It's been a very, very informational seed.
Yeah. Alright, here we go. We're about to pull us a Kraken at 1 hour, 31 minutes.
Seed is about to appear on the screen. And let's see how the 2-man strat approaches Kraken 1.
We're gonna try some fight. We're gonna try some temper. Here we go. Temper goes off. Swing.
Temper works.
5 hits, 281. That's a good start. Incoming.
Incoming 360. Outgoing.
We're gonna try. Oh, fast goes off first.
Fast goes
fast
off.
Swing.
Swing happens.
Down goes Kraken.
That is a 2-hit Kraken.
Grindy's on the board.
360, and we've got an Orblit at 131.40.
That was. Yeah, that was Grindy's. That was gonna be his first big hurdle, and I'm tickled pink that we've cleared it. And chat already screaming for Grindy to please save.
Pro tip, after taking out Fiend, it's generally good to save.
Yep.
And by generally, I mean please, please, please save. Caleb says that saving is overrated. I'm going to have to politely disagree with our fine admin.
There we go. We got there. We saved. We housed. We out. As Demon is going to take another crack at the nachos. Got to get all that ooey gooey cheese padding on them calories. Calories are like levels, right?
They're similar in that they're both numbers that generate different numbers.
Yeah.
But in essentially all other ways are different. Alright, we've gotten back to level 11. I like the trajectory that we're on.
Looks like Grendy is heading in the general direction of Earth Cave. I believe that might be his next destination.
He's heading in the general direction of the inner sea. So yeah, I would wager Earth Cave, but this could be a roundabout way to fire.
Oh, right, he needs to turn in adamant.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And then hopefully he'll get in the air as well.
So, now seems like a good time, while we have a good audience going. When I decided to do comms for this match, I went into it knowing that I know absolutely nothing about the people involved. So, I figured I'd sit both of them down for a brief pre-race interview and try and get to know them a bit more as runners and people, and figure out, like, what we're going to expect from this. So, I'll start with the notes I got from Demon. He completed his very first seed on Tuesday, so already I'm just blown away by his progress so far.
134, we get our second bridge cutscene. Go on.
He has very little experience with Final Fantasy 1, and what little experience he does have is with the GBA and the GBA and I think the PSP ports. So no NES experience.
Which are pretty mechanically different than the NES game, even if the trappings are.
He's very active in Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, as well as A Link to the Past Rando, so he's very experienced with randos, just not this one.
Grendy on his way, gets that floater, on his way immediately to go turn it in, get in the air.
And Demon's goal for the tournament is it's a step along the path. He wants to become experienced at all 4 Final Fantasy randomizers.
Wait, 4? I know of 1, 4, and 6. What else? Which other one?
FFR, Free Enterprise, Worlds Collide. I know there's one for 7 that just hit public release.
There is Mystic Quest Rando. That's true.
Mystic Quest Rando.
There's Final Fantasy Tactics Rando, that's true. There's 4-Job Fiesta for 5.
Questions for later. So
there is a Final Fantasy 2 or 3, I forget which randomizer, but it's all in Japanese.
Oh, nah. So, Grendylicious.
There's HMS Jane also, that's a good point. Thank you, Caleb, for reminding us of our sister that Nicolette worked so hard on.
So, Grendylicious. He has been playing for right around a month, maybe a bit less. He has very little experience with Final Fantasy 1, and what little experience he does have is with ports like the GBA or PSP.
And those are pretty mechanically different from them.
Yeah. He has no other experience in other randomizers, but he frequently watches VODs for A Link to the Past Randomizer and Free Enterprise.
Wait, who was this? Was Grendy?
This is Grendy.
You're just doubling down on these comparisons. FFR is my only randomizer as well.
And he has no real goals other than he just wants to have fun.
I am a fan of fun.
Yeah. So, those are the 2 competitors we're dealing with. A lot of similarities in there, in that they both just started and they both have very limited experience with NES FF1.
Really awesome luck that they got paired against each other in round 1, so we can have this matchup. And we got an Aegis there on DemonRHK's side.
Ooh, Aegis Shield is... It'll help with these incoming melee attacks until we can finish or start padding out levels. He's hit level 15 on a Nacho grind.
Yeah, so like with that Opal armor, the Opal armor and the Aegis and a ribbon is going to give that knight as good defense as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb tells me that there is a sharpened silver sword in one of these chests. I missed it.
Sweet. Hashtag neat. Still really need to find one and or both loose items, though.
Yeah.
Hey, look, a loose item. We found...
Commentator blessing, I take it, is also a thing.
Look, the commentator giveth and the commentator taketh away. Those are just the rules we all operate under.
That loose chime opens up all of Skycake. And all of the chests in it to be potential places that other loose could be.
Yep.
taking this unrunnable Frost Giant, Frost Wolf, Blaze Frost Giant attack.
Yeesh.
This is on the fire tile.
So here's... Alright, so we're still looking for the loot. And we have not found the herb. So, do you keep opening boxes in Volcano, or do you all in Sky?
I mean, I'm in Volcano if I'm Grindy, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm opening every box except for Squiggle left in Volcano while I'm here.
Sure.
If I weren't already here, I'd be turning in that, translating the slab and checking the last.
Haven't we been? Oh no, we haven't been to Lefane, have we? Okay, yeah.
Neither player has been to Lefane, so
Okay.
that would be where I would be. And now that we're in Volcano, it's where I would be after this volcano. I see DemonRHK leaving Earth Cave. Did we kill Lich and I missed it?
We killed Lich. Most people
am
miss the
so
killing.
sorry.
Most people miss the killing of Lich. It's Lich.
No, that puts us at 1-to-1 orb. That's a big deal.
Yeah. I believe in Demon. I believe that part of that nacho grind that we had just now is step 1 on the path to fixing our levels and getting us Topher battle ready.
Yeah, step 2, actually equipping the gear we have, and then step 3, throwing a brick on the gas and getting there.
Yeah. Step 3 is going to involve taking every fight in Mirage Sky.
Yeah. And doing the perfunctory things, you know, getting the items, translating the slab, going in, turning that in, finding this chime that Grindy has. Seems like Grindy could work a little bit on knowing where the trap tiles are here in Volcano. That said, taking some Frosties wouldn't have been bad XP.
Honestly, this is just stuff that comes with experience. Yeah. We've got a lot of great in the Randomizer Discord
on hotel room floor where like there are so many just okay, that's where the trap tile is.
Yeah.
It's a hard floor to memorize.
Yep. If I had to recommend 2 places that would be good to just kind of look at maps or just have maps printed out that you can easily reference, the 2 that I think are the hardest are Marsh Bottom and trap tile locations in Volcano in general.
That's both loose.
Oh, okay, there we go. We got both loose. One of those is bound to turn into our loot.
Once we chase all of the loose fetch quests, we're in go mode. And he's got a Massa as well, and yeah, so remember about 45 minutes ago when I said that I would be full clear in Volcano? Would have been a good line. Obviously, all the other lines we discussed then and the lines these players have taken have also, you know, been entirely rational lines. But this is why sometimes you just full clear Volcano, because it has a chest density at a point in the logic chain that it's just very likely to have at least one of those.
Yep. So it looks like Demon is doing some shopping to try and pad out magic spells and whatnot, just to make sure that we've got everything we need to go, which is perfectly reasonable, sensible.
One of the steps he needs to take, because he needs to, you know, he has a very magic-reliant party, he needs to get those spells on the character so he can use them during fights.
Like, especially after class change, any standard run, you're gonna see, like, a 10-minute shopping trip in the middle of the game.
JLo7 in chat saying that he had a canal in Volcano in his race, which is impressively unlikely, and I love it.
I don't like that.
I'm sorry, that breaks the spoiler rule, doesn't it?
No, it's not that it breaks the spoiler rule, it's just I hear the words, there's a canal in Volcano, and I just go, by the way, Carrie died.
Wait, Carrie died?
Yeah, single attack,
I
415.
look away and Lich dies, I look away and Carrie dies.
See...
yeah. Well, thanks for updating me. So that puts us at 2 orbs for Grindy.
Here we go. Big money, give me the banjo. What do we got?
We have a...
Is banjo.
So that means the Thor hammer is one of the remaining quest items. Are we in full go mode now, or do we need to turn in one more?
I believe Grindy is in full go mode.
Nice.
Yeah, chat pointing out, ice isn't even required, although both runners ended up doing it.
I mean, it makes sense in the order that they were taking things to take it when they took it, but it is interesting to note that it wasn't a required play. And we're coming in for the class change on Grindy, a lot later than Demon's class change, but I think coming in with a lot of momentum.
We're gonna miss out on a lot of level 1 white, or 1 through 3 white magic, but I don't remember if it was even worth it.
Well, we have a tracker for just these reasons, so let's look what the low-level white magic was.
Alright, we're missing...
We have Harm 3. We've got Ruse at level 2.
Okay, level 2 Ruse is the thing that would have been
like
nice.
Ruse and Cure 3 look like they are what we had for the Knight to learn, so we're not actually losing out on that much, since... Does Grindy have that defense?
Grindy has defense, yeah.
Yeah, so the Ruse isn't even a loss. The Cure 3 on a 2-man party is not much of a loss, so the spell levels are largely irrelevant.
Yep. Oh, it's time for Sky.
Going into Sky Cave. And we've got Demon up to level 16, it looks like. That's good. I feel your pain, Space Drake. And that is 4 Gasties that are unrunnable. That is a lot of XP if he can get through this fight.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a Black Wizard bust out the nukes if we got him, but we don't, so, yeah.
I was looking away. Did Grindy skip first floor chests?
Grindy did skip. Grindy skipped first floor chests.
Well, then that means he's full brick on the gas, not opening another chest. He is got 2 Fiends in his eyesight, and then into Topher.
That's my guess. Nope, we're doing greater than less than room. There's got to be something he still wants. I wonder what his ribbon count is.
I am not sure what his ribbon count is. If we're checking chests, we've got 2 Fiends left. We're looking at probably a 220 finish at the current moment.
Shadows? Possibly. Shadow says 0 ribbons. I feel like he has at least 1, but if not, that's what we're looking for, because...
I know that we have seen 3 different ribbons, but those could have all been on Dean's side.
I feel like I've done 2 of these races today, and I don't remember if this is the one that had the ribbon in Mermaids or not, or at least around Mermaids.
The Opal Armor is an armor with 34 Absorb that only a Knight can equip, and 34 Absorb is the highest Absorb... I'm sorry, 42 Absorb is the highest Absorb that any single piece of armor in the game has. It's the same Absorb as the Dragon Armor, but with a ribbon. The Dragon Armor just provides additional resistances that the ribbon would open. So it's kind of the best armor in the game.
Yeah, no ribbons. Okay, so that's almost certainly what Grindy's looking for.
Yeah, with 0 ribbons, I'd be opening chests here too. I would have opened the first floor, and then skipped this floor, but...
He might be doing something that I've seen some of the more experienced runners do, and I will continue to love him to pieces if he ends up doing this, where if you do Mirage Sky, you skip the first floor entirely, and then just, like, do a single clear up through the rest of it, and if you still don't find whatever it was you were looking for after you kill Tiamat, you go back in and you open the first floor.
I hate that line and understand why you like it. Checking our notes, it looks like we have Ribbon 1 in Cardia Isles and Ribbon 2 in Earth. So, yeah, Grindy doesn't have either of those. And that means one still loose in the wind. Thank you, our wonderful tracker. I'm sorry, I'm bad at remembering that we have a wonderful tracker. As this is Grindy and Demon's first FFR race, this is my first comms in a long time. So.
Yeah, and I made Avis roll the seed for the first time. It's firsts all around. Welcome to And we're on Randomania 1! That's got a 1 in the title. It's first for everyone. And I'm not sure you've picked up on this, one of our runners will be getting first for the first time.
Ooh, unrunnable eyes. A first will occur. That is true. I like Grindy going right first. Can't hold ribbon. Those are words he wanted to see.
One whole ribbon. Gimme dat. Get rid of some of this gear that's never going to be used.
Hey, thank you for trading. Thank you, Gren.
But what to get rid of? Yep, that is where the ribbon belongs, right there on the knight.
I disagree.
It's alright, it's where it will belong when we get to Bridge of Destiny.
It is where it will belong when we get to Bridge of Destiny, yes. No. Maybe. It's where it belongs when we get to Topher.
A black mage under its own power, I don't think is getting through a war mech, especially with level 7 nuke. A knight under its own power, 40% chance?
I guess that's valid. This knight, no, I disagree. This knight has enough levels and enough hit points that the chip damage difference that the black mage will take from its terrible MDef growth, I think is more time loss than the 0.5% chance that your knight's gonna randomly lose his MDef save and die. So I would have it on sets, but like as you can see, like Fizzle's a better runner than me, but two experienced runners are giving the two opposite answers means that it's not a clear definitely do one or that one.
Yeah, no, it's far from solved. There are many different paths to killing chaos.
We saw a Mage Staff on Grindy's side. I would love to see that in Grin's inventory for some of the remaining fights, like the unrunnable Ghost. Oh no, we won't see that again. Were there unrunnable undead in Earth?
Yes, I think there were. Oh no, there was also we are going to see ghosts, or at least Demon will see ghosts again because the blue dragon tile was ghosts.
Oh yeah. Oh, there were also the crack trolls, yeah. But those I think are better handled with the Massa. There's that Sunsword Demon now picking it up. Opal Shield as well, and the Slurb. The Slurb, which we believe turns into the Thorhammer, right?
Pretty much. I think that's the only thing that's left, because we found the Chime just straight up by itself, and then we found Herb that turned into Loot, so by extension Slab has to turn into Thorhammer.
Yep. Grindy's checking the far 6 chests. I think by lag we missed seeing what was in one of them, but...
I think we missed a lot of them.
I saw 5 of them, they were garbage.
Oh, okay. Still, though, using Warp to go fast in checking these chests.
Yeah, I have either thought this through very much, or I've watched people play this a number of times to know that is a wise move to do when you have access to the Warp spell. And one of the reasons that the Warp spell is, in the top 6 best spells in the game list, because it lets you save all those steps on this floor.
Dare I say it was a veteran move.
You may dare to say that. I like taking this fighter fight. I mean, I know he's going to take every fight because of his party, but I like that he took that fighter fight because it was a very quick one-round fight that gave a lot of XP. I also like that fighter fight can now appear on this. Yeah, Cooper saying that Grindy has done Grindy's homework and absolutely shows.
Yep.
Right. I cannot say that when Grindy initially Dan and the White Mage that I had as much faith as I have now. It's a very aggressive strategy for a new player, and he's doing it quite well.
I was also confused and concerned, but gosh dang if he hasn't made it work.
Yeah. There was a discussion by a number of new players earlier today about two-man party, some questions about two-person parties, and I will send them towards this to see how another new player did a very good job of approaching the question.
Alright, get your bless RNGs out in chat because it's robot time!
No need. And Warmech Melees for half of Grin's hit points, so that's terrifying.
That's a lot of absorb, and that's a face-down knight.
Grin.
Run? I think we're on run. That wasn't run.
Even after a temper stack, he was only doing 236 damage to that Warmech, so that Warmech is not going down easily. Grin's got a bit of tilt, we can see in his inputs there, and I understand why. That is a very, very tilting thing to happen. Don't worry, Grin, you got this. It's a lot of time lost, but you got this. Just remember where the ribbon was, and the rest of it was pretty much garbage. So. Oh, welcome to the stream, Artea. Oh, he's been hanging out in your channel? That explains it. Awesome, that makes sense. Artea, the king and progenitor of the exactly this party strat, so if Grendy's been hanging out with Artea, that makes sense why he's taking the Artea line.
You'd be proud. He's been doing really well so far. So closing in on the two.
Also, welcome to the stream, Darkmoon. I didn't see you there.
So closing in on the 2-hour mark, we've got Demon in search of both loose items that we know to be in Volcano. Volcano is one of his likely next destinations. Grindy is in go mode, and just had an unfortunate encounter with our very friendly robot up on the Bridge of Destiny, so take 2 of DemonRHK.
What was the spell or skill that wiped the Black Mage? I didn't notice which it was.
I'm pretty sure it was being hit in the face.
No, he hit the Knight in the face twice and then cast a spell or skill.
There might have been a spell or skill, but as I recall, the Black Mage went down to like 2 hits for like 300-something damage.
Oh, Shadow is telling me that you are correct and it was punch, punch, punch. Okay.
Yep.
So the spell was fist, I see. Coming around the long way for these chests. Walked by where the invisible person used to be.
Shoutouts to the invisible person. Maybe we can make that the next Hooray Dwarf. I don't know.
Oh man, you gotta really commit to that one. That's a long walk for a long walk. We got defense being picked up by Demon, which is definitely going to help if he runs into this Warmech again, or himself, or in the Topher fights. Equipping some ice armor on that ninja. I like it. Putting the gold bracelet down on Hurt, which I also like. I like equipping your armor. Equipping your armor does help it to provide better absorb.
Say hi to the ghosts.
Hi ghosts, how are you? Murdery? I see. They missed sets, that's lucky. Demon picks up his Mazza.
Alright. Sky Cave, take 2.
And puts the Mazza on the ninja. Given the X-Cal, I like that line. I don't like that line generally, but given the X-Cal, I like it.
Yep. Might as well use both of the endgame swords that we have, especially if most of our trash encounters are just going to be just melee through the things and keep going.
Against the vast majority of fights, an X-Cal is going to do a functionally identical amount of damage to a Mazza on a knight, on a decently leveled knight. So turning that thief from, I forget what sword he was wielding, but something like a dragon sword, makes it much, much better in damage output. There's our ribbon. Grindy remembered where it was, which is great. Shadow Walker arguing that Sun Sword is better than Mazza.
Shadow, it's not nice to tell lies.
Which I cannot agree with.
So Demon has parked at Volcano, is going to get the great news about both of the loose being in here, because they were at chests that were basically right in the path of like where you would be opening boxes if you were still looking for stuff.
Yep. And then Demon will be able to throw a brick on the gas as well. Oh, Shadow Walker was pointing out that he upgraded from Sun Sword to Mazza, not his opinion that Sun Sword was great.
And Demon has bailed on Volcano, possibly out of consumables?
Okay. Sometimes you need the N to get your spell charges back.
Could be out of houses too. Interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
Madrion in chat is pointing out that the sharpened silver sword is also here in Volcano, if that's the kind of thing that he likes.
Alright, Grendy is rapidly approaching Bridge of Destiny Part 2. Get your blessed RNGs out in chat. See if we can make lightning strike twice.
Don't do this to poor Grindy. Poor Grindy already wiped once to the War Mech.
It's a rite of passage. Everyone that does it gets to go through the multiple War Mech wipes at some point. Getting it out of the way now means not having to deal with it later.
Okay. Well, Grindy, I'm hoping that neither you nor Demon see another War Mech this seed. For what it's worth.
Using Ice 2 to polish off the sorcerers, Grindy has been doing very, very well at managing magic.
Grindy has been doing, a really good job of noting the remaining hit points of his mobs and using spell charges from the appropriate remaining level to not waste charges so he can get through the fight. Which, for a player that's new, again, is very impressive. And if he's been watching Artea, I'm guessing that was an Artea suggestion.
Question in chat, does Show still hold the record for most War Mechs at 4 in a row? I'm assuming we mean back-to-back-to-back encounters, and that's the most I've ever heard of.
Yeah, my personal record's 3, so 4 would definitely be that. Ambush on those airs so we can get away really quickly, that's nice. Zeus Gauntlet over on the left. I don't know at this point that that's relevant, but there it is.
Alright, and we made it to Tier 1.
We got... Awesome. Grindy chose to use Fast as the first cast instead of Temper in this fight, like he's been doing in the other ones, and I like that decision. Fast is definitely the better spell to cast first, since it doubles your damage output, instead of only increasing it by some number less than double. So I like that line a lot better. And down goes Tia. Orb lit. Dungeon exited once we've saved. We have saved. That's 3 orbs.
Alright, all we have left is Earth Cave?
Still on track for that 220 that I said earlier, so come on, Grindy, get done.
Yeah, you can do it.
MG Weirdo showing up in favor of speed and power. Chime get on DemonRHK's side.
Yeah, MG Weirdo, if you wanted speed and power, the first hour of this race, Demon had all that and more.
Yep. Yeah, Grindy out to a pretty decent lead at this point. But Topher wipes can eat 10 minutes a pop, so there's definitely a chance for Demon to catch up if Topher is nasty, and Fighter Black Mage, no, can have rough Tophers, especially at 230% if multiple things roll up, like an evasion capped 2,000 hit point Kraken, for instance.
Yeah, something that resists melee and does melee is probably going to be the thing that Grindy is hoping not to encounter at this point.
Yeah. Gloomchew, welcome to the stream. Anything nasty this seed? Yes, lots of nasty things. The trolls were trolly, the ghosts were unrunnable.
Half the early game.
Half of the early game had like Blaze or Thunder or Trance. Yeah, Sea Snakes had Trance Thunder. Yeah, lots of things nasty this seed for sure. Thunderblaze Scums, yeah, those were good as well. The Wizsahags, which might be a story in Topher that could absolutely provide a wipe. They had Transcend Frost. Sea Snakes in Topher even can be scary. Like, in short, what I'm saying is water floor in Topher looks terrifying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, mummies were nasty too, and mummies are one of the monsters in this game that you least want to roll a script. Because you just see mummies everywhere, and in packs of 1,000,000. Setting some gargoyles on fire while we run away.
Sure.
Nope,
please.
Gumby. There is no exit that way. DemonRHK is wrapping up Armory, and hopefully we'll continue clearing on Hotel Floor and get the remaining loose item.
I don't think I've ever referred to it as Hotel Floor, and I think I'm gonna start doing it because it sounds better than Agama Floor.
Yeah, that's a fairy special. That's how she referred to it, and I thought it was a brilliant name, so I've started using it as well. Matreon, kind of, but not in the way that you're implying.
The question in chat is there any rando flag that changes the roll values on spells? And I think the thing that Tarna was going to talk about was Spellcrafter.
Correct.
Which is yes but no, but yes but no. Because
there's a feature that One Fine Day wrote that replaces the current spells in the game with spells inspired by the spells in the game randomly. So, yes, but if you mean directly a flag that makes Fire 2 do something other than what Fire 2 does but is still identifiable as Fire 2, no.
Ava's also pointing out something that that our runners could learn from. Whenever you step on a damage tile, that doesn't advance.
The lava tiles here in Volcano, for instance.
Exactly. That doesn't advance the encounter table. So the more tiles that you can take in your line of movement that are on damage tiles, that will just distance out whatever your next encounter is, to the point where you might be shaving off like whole numbers of encounters by the time you get to the end of the dungeon. It's a real good skill to learn.
Yeah, so I don't have off the top of my head how many, the average number of steps per encounter, but let's say it's 12. If you take 12 volcano steps, and therefore take 12 damage on all of your party, you get to save the damage and time it would have taken, on average, of one fight in Volcano. And that is essentially 100% of the time of grind.
Right.
Especially since the lava or the ice in Ice Cave, the damage cannot reduce you below 1 hit point, so as long as you're paying attention, it can't even kill you. And Loose Herb Get, which puts DemonRHK in go-ish mode once he turns those in.
Given that he has already turned in the slab.
Oh, yeah. And so he knows that was the last item, and he immediately stops opening anything, throws a brick on the gas, and starts walking.
Yep.
Lonk is starting to get there in the hit points. I like it.
Above 20, that's really good. We only need a couple levels more before I think we'd be comfortable with a Topher dive, and
I'm comfortable with it. If you have Mazza, and if you're at 24 on a fighter, I'm comfortable trying essentially any Topher that doesn't have the word plant involved.
Yeah.
And we've got fight, use ribbon, fight, fade, temper. And Carry 2 is dead.
That was a lot of hubbub over nothing.
Yep. I'm sorry, Carry 1. Carry 1 is dead, my mistake.
I mean, Carry 1 is frequently just like a terrifying gatekeeper you have to deal with in the middle of the game, but it's also sometimes funny when you just like, you power up the Mazza cannon and then you just first shot and it's just like, oh, well, alright.
Ooh, Lich takes 472 and does not die on Grindy's side of the screen.
Look at that sassy Lich, pretending he's a real boss.
Lich, yeah, and then Lich goes down, meaning that Grendy has all 4 orbs lit, which means Grendy is ready for Topher.
Heck yeah.
What were we talking? Oh, Carry. I know luck is an irrelevancy, and over the run of a million seeds, everything adds out. I feel like Carry always has Thunder if I'm playing. I feel like every seed I run, Carry has Thunder as her first skill.
Interesting.
Like, Thunder Carry is just a concept in my mind because of the frequency with which she has it.
I feel like my Carry frequently has Ink.
Oh, interesting. I'll trade you. You can have Thunder Carry. I'll be Ink Carry.
No, I'm good. I'm good with the one I got.
I feel like Carrie is the kind of fiend who would have ink. Like, she's hanging out in the tattoo parlor. Like, she's like, it's a Saturday. I'm gonna get some new ink.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cheesy place. That was a very interesting place to land that airship. I like it.
It's interesting. I don't necessarily know that it's faster, but if it's slower, it's not by much.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never parked there.
I have also never parked there.
I'm gonna have to park there and count tiles.
Yeah.
Thanks, DemonRHK, for giving me something to think about. Welcome to the chat, Wilcliosis.
Alright, here we go. We're entering Topher at 2 hours, 9 minutes. Buckle up, because this is gonna be a ride.
Madrion stating that of their preferred superpower, ink would be it, so they wouldn't have to pay for ink cartridges anymore.
Yeah.
Every time they ran out of toner, they would be set.
Meanwhile, DemonRHK...
Nice. That's what real friends do.
Meanwhile, DemonRHK has returned to the scene of much frustration. Sahag packs.
Oh, Archaea, I was assuming that she's a regular.
I too know how tattoos work. You go in with the doodle and they do the needle and the ink things, and then you have the arm art.
Ooh, that is a moment that even though we spent a lot of time together, I don't think you know about me. I used to work in such a place.
Nice.
Yeah. I had a number of good friends who were very into that scene, and it was a good time, good period, a lot of really interesting things.
Yeah.
That I learned.
I have a friend who traveled, who moved away but recently came back to the area, and part of the trip back was to visit their favorite tattoo artist.
Oh, nice. Yeah, once you get someone, particularly if they've done some work on you, like, you want the same hand, the same artistic style, the same approach.
Mm-hmm. Question in chat: why did we warp out, Grendy? I missed that he had warped out.
I noticed, but had no idea why. Saving levels is perfectly reasonable. Wanted to pick up a couple of levels before going in for the actual dive.
Yeah. I'd argue more in favor of forgetting to save.
Maybe didn't remember whether they saved and wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's the theory I'd like to go with. I think at this point, he either has now or will have all the levels he'll ever need, but making sure that you definitely totally saved, I can see that as being just making sure.
And DemonRHK is approaching Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
And knows that he's in go mode, and so really not that far behind. If Grindy isn't able to make it through on the first pass, it's still either of their games if Grindy wipes.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely like attacking better on these Gasties than using Zapshard.
Yep. And down goes Kraken 1 for DemonRHK. That is the third. That is the trash pack. Please hold. That is the third orb lit for DemonRHK.
Falconic pointing out that the interesting airship placement is 5 extra steps compared to the typical landing spot, but like, now we know. That's awesome. You know, it brought a bunch of us to asking the question, someone to checking it, and now we know the answer.
Yeah. Question in chat, Ice 3 not available? I don't believe we've seen Ice 3. I think it's either level 7. No, we saw both sides of level 7, so I think it's level 8. Nuke is level 7 Gaia.
Yeah, I believe it's level 8 as well.
Yeah. Oop. Just do that. And Grendy getting a little turned around in the second floor Temple of Fiends, trying to figure out the stairs back to the first floor.
So many of us who've run this game hundreds of times, like whether in vanilla or through the randomizer, like we know Topher like the back of our hands, but that makes it really easy to forget how confusing and arcane of a place it is, where every floor looks basically identical and you have to go exactly this one direction, or there's giant amounts of the floor that just do absolutely nothing.
Yeah. If you look at the map of Temple of Fiends, like the whole map just kind of spread out, there is so much useless space on these floors. But we made it back down to the first floor, and from here, it's kind of, sort of, mostly linear. So here we go. Headed downstairs to the Lich floor.
On our way, coming up close on seeing our first Fiend 2 fight.
I mean, first Fiend 2 fight is making a lot of assumptions about Lich 2.
Hey, Lich 2 can get turn order, Lich 2 can have nuke.
I guess.
I'm so happy to have Sorias on this floor again. I love this fight. This fight when we're in Topher. I love getting just that pile of XP at almost no risk.
Yep.
Getting level 35 in this case, which is a great level to hit.
Usually with, like, say, when comparing two-man strats against something like the Black Belt aims for a fixed number. It aims for 32, it aims for 42. With the two-man Knight Black Mage, I feel like you're not necessarily aiming for a target, you're just aiming for a minimum, and I think that minimum is probably 35, because that's, I think, the next Mazza breakpoint.
24 and 35 are both really important breakpoints, but you are right. Each level on a fighter matters. Like, just they get regular strength growth, their hit point growth is insane by this point. So, like, each level that they get is meaningful. But I do think that exactly 24 and 35, if you have the Mazza, are really meaningful breakpoints as well. Not quite 32, 42 meaningful, but very meaningful.
Yeah. DemonRHK on the third floor of Sky Cave, headed towards the Bridge of Destiny, as Grendylicius is rounding the corner on the fire floor, headed towards Carry 2.
And the scary Bridge of Destiny is we've seen that War Mech absolutely wipe out Grendylicius in 2 turns, so...
Yeah.
3 turns. Shadow Walker giving a very great compliment to Grendylicius, that the way he's playing, Shadow, who was, one of our best players, he got 2nd place in the tournament last year, would expect that Grendylicious had far more experience with the randomizer than he.
Demon taking a wipe in third floor Sky. I think those Arhydras had Death Touch.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah. But here we go, we've got Carry 2, the first real Fiend 2 fight. We're gonna try Fast and Swing. Bad turn order. 6 hits for 500.
Take it.
Alright, 6 hits for 500. Carry does Ice 2. Ice 2 does Ice 2 things. Rub, ineffective. Let's try Temper. Big swing. 12 hits, 1255. Down goes Carry 2. Easy peasy.
Carry 2. Didn't really see anything scary from her either. We've got a pile of unrunnable ghosts on the left, and we've got the potentially very scary water floor here on the right.
Yep. We're watching out for Wizzahags. We don't want to see sea snakes.
Mainly those 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the waters are hitting pretty hard too. Waters tend to hit pretty hard.
All right.
Grindy's got the good walking pattern on Kraken floor. I like it.
Yep, and we're pulling up to Kraken 2. Do you want to take this?
Sure. But first we have to get through this big guy.
Yeah. Chew on that tasty experience.
Yeah, Waters and Vampires, Arte says, have wiped him more times than the Fiends have. I don't know if more times for me, but definitely a comparable number of times. Whiz-Vamps in particular.
Yeah, just the sheer melee power.
Whiz-Vamps after Tia 2 are a bane of many a runner.
Mm-hmm.
We got Kraken 2. We've got Fight into Fast, which is the good order. 500 damage to Gren. Oh, only one hit off of Gren with that Mazza. That means really high evade on this Kraken, which is the thing that we mentioned earlier could be the thing that wipes a player. I didn't see the number, but it was only 2 hits the second time, 3 hits for 200 the third time, and slain. That's a party wipe. This is the kind of thing that we were saying earlier could bring this back to an even game. So Gren decides to re-dive instead of going for more XP. Let's see if that ends up being the right decision when we get back to Kraken. On the kind of silver lining side, we saw that Kraken attacked literally every time, so we know how we can approach the fight the next time around by going defense as our first action. But that's not going to keep the Black Mage alive. You're just relying on the 80% chance of it hitting Gren, keeping him alive, which, if you're taking 3 turns defensing up, is not good math. So, Quaking Dragons, typically not a good play. Dragons are in the air and therefore don't fall into a quack. They also don't like cake and eat ducks when they see them, so...
Meanwhile, on the left side, DemonRHK has made it back up Sky, made it back across the Bridge of Destiny. We're about to pull Tia 1. We're just gonna fire hose some heal potions real quick. Here we go. Let's begin with some Power Bonk, some Fight, some Invis 2, and some Temper. Ink goes out. Ink does Ink things. Temper goes off first. That's good turn order. Power Bonk goes off first. Swing Ninja with Mazza. 5 hits, 236. Invis 2 goes off. Let's get ready for round 2. Here we go. Let's try some Fight. Maybe some Fade. And some Temper. We're going basically all in on damage here. Night Swings. 4 hits, 348. Fade goes out. For 113, Temper goes off. Incoming poison damage, big damage on the Knight, 210 against that Knight. Outgoing Ninja Swing, 5 hits, 404. Tiamat 1 is still there. We're going to try 2 swings, some heal 3, and a little bit more Temper on that Ninja. But the Ninja swings first, 5 hits, 104. Temper goes off after the nick of time. More Ink things. Big Knight Swing, 4 hits, 257. Down goes Tia 1.
Down goes Tia 1, and that puts us pretty even if I'm correct, right?
Yep. DemonRHK is now Topher bound.
So, Coover, to answer your question, will the AI always fade the same? Kind of. The order in which they will use a skill or a spell, if they choose to do them, are the same. But you cannot predict what they're going to do. First, the computer checks, do I want to use a spell? If no, it then checks, do I want to cast a skill? If no, it then punches you. And we shuffle what the odds of it making each of those decisions are from seed to seed, as well as what, if it makes those decisions, it will cast. So, having seen Kraken melee 3 times, one can presume that it is probably likely that it's on a melee-only script, but you don't actually know that.
Another fun fact and about whether we can predict what Kraken 2 is going to do or not. Within the script shuffling pool, there is essentially 2 pools. Well, there's actually essentially 3 pools. There's mid and early game bosses. These are the Fiend ones, Astos, Garland, etc. Actually, Astos and Garland might not even be in those.
Just the Fiend ones.
Just the Fiend ones. And then we have the Fiend 2s and Warmech in their own contained pool. Now, in that pool, there is one Fiend that has no spells, and there is one Fiend that has no skills. And if both of those get combined, you can end up with a pure melee-only Fiend. And if that Fiend is Kraken 2, that is the worst news in the world.
Yeah.
Especially with high evade, so you can't even hit the stupid thing.
Yeah, with 1 hit from that level 35 Mazza. And then 2 hits from the fasted Mazza. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a gatekeeper Kraken too.
Mhm.
Now, as Arte was pointing out, or, it could be like 75 to skill, 75 to spell, and we just rolled poorly 3 times in a row. So
Yeah. Or it was like 30-30, and we're gonna see the first spell, and it's nuke.
And yeah, Ava's pointing out that DemonRHK might have a better chance against that Kraken because there's more things to throw to sacrifice on the altar of Kraken.
Yep.
That's kind of the fundamental difference between 4-up and 2-up, is that 2-up is not resilient. If someone dies, it fundamentally alters your ability to finish Topher, whereas with 4-up, you can often back up if any piece failed.
Yep. That white wizard almost certainly has life charges, or at least life spell learned. So even if he does lose 2 or even 3 bodies to Kraken 2, as long as that white mage makes it through, we can bring the rest of the party up, and we've lost essentially no power trying to get through the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, just the power loss for that fight. Ooh! Lich 2, taking out sets!
Oh!
We got a real race here. Does Grendy choose to redive, or does Grendy look at what Grendy's got and say, you know what, I think I can get through that Kraken. The carry was very weak. It's a real decision point.
Chat's calling for a reset, and I have to go with them on this for one very big reason.
It's funny, I go with Grendy on the not resetting. Let's hear your logic.
The only reason to continue would be an information dive. We already have the information that the big brick wall is going to be Kraken 2, and it seems extremely unlikely that we're going to get through that with nothing more than plucky determination and some lucky turn order with defense casts.
See, I strongly disagree. With knowing that you have Defense Sword and Maza on that fighter, I think that assuming that you approach the fights right, at level 36 on a Maza fighter with close to perfect absorb and a ribbon and a defense, you can make it through this. If he was level 24, I agree with your logic, but it's not.
We'll find out which one of us is right as Grendy continues further in.
Wait. Does Grendy have the bonk?
Yes. 99% yes on that.
It's just not equipped? Because he's on Opal Armor, Opal Shield, and Ribbon.
It might not be equipped.
Okay, cool. So I would get that in the correct slot and equipped, and then and then the things that I said.
Meanwhile, DemonRHK is catching up. Just hit first floor, is headed back down towards the Lich floor.
And we've got a dead ninja that isn't getting picked back up.
Interesting. I wonder if we're conserving life charges.
No, Cooper. Phoenix Downs are not a concept that exists in this game. There's a white magic spell that does it, but there's not an item that does it.
And even worse, that white magic spell that revives characters doesn't function in combat.
Yes.
That's a lot of incoming damage from those waters.
But the lack of an item to res you is a significant part of the way that the strategy... Okay, we're back out here, and Grendy is deciding, do we redive or do we take some levels? What do we do?
Right. So here we go. DemonRHK about to fight the 5th Fiend 1.
5th?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Treating Lich 2 with respect by casting Invis 2, you hate to see it.
I love Invis 2, you're right, I hate to see it. See, Lich 2 is a real fiend.
In my defense, he didn't do that until he was treated with respect. You just gotta give him the swing, the harm 3, and the fire 3, just and get it done.
Lich 2 knows what's up.
See, look at all these skills. You wouldn't have to deal with this if you just dumpstered him and got on with your day.
We got a real race on our hands here.
Yeah.
This is coming down to a real nail biter. I'm very excited.
This is exciting. Grendy is abandoning Topher and is heading somewhere else, almost certainly for levels.
I like this. Grendy face rolled twice, didn't get through. Instead of continuing to face roll and hoping, he's like, I'm not going to waste the time anymore. I'm going to go. I'm going to get equipped up. I'm going to get some levels. I'm going to come back in and not die again. I like it.
Maybe headed for bottle turn-in, although you can't take the shortcut because then the town council boots you out. Because I think the fairy had power gauntlet, and if he doesn't have that inventory... Oh, we're getting nuke. That's what we're getting.
Picking up nuke is a strong play.
Meanwhile, on the left side of our screen, DemonRHK, fire-hosing heal pots, preparing for battle. Let's take this carry 2, here we go. We're gonna open with Power Gauntlet. How about... Gonna choose our actions carefully. We're gonna go with an Invis 2 and some Temper. Invis 2 goes out.
Putting us down to 2 Invis 2 charges remaining for the Kraken 2 that we both know is coming has me a little bit nervous for the future of DemonRHK's party.
Right. It's one of those things that, you know, we on comms are cursed with that knowledge, but he has no idea the nightmare he's in for.
We do have access to Fast Nova. It's level 5.
We've done a little bit of buffing as
Grendy
Grendylicious
did not want
returns.
levels. Grendy just wanted nuke.
Okay. Probably
Nuke
aiming
is
to
kind of like levels.
probably aiming to try to overpower a weak Kraken 2 with just nuke casts and hope that the knight survives. That's my guess on the strategy. Yeah.
Sometimes you got speed and power.
Yeah. And as I looked away, DemonRHK mowed through Carry 2 on the water floor, headed towards the disaster zone.
Still haven't seen any scary things on water floor other than these waters that hit like trucks. But they're runnable, so...
Yep.
So even though we know that there's the possibility, it hasn't become a thing yet.
Sure. Alright, here we go.
Here we go on Kraken 2. Take it away.
We're healing up. We're still leaving that thief face down. Oh, no. Oh. We're jiggling...
Might still be that thief face down.
We're moving the... we're moving the Mazza down to the Black Mage.
Okay.
Just in case. Alright.
That's
And
the
here
thing.
we go. Let's do some Power Bonk. How about some Invis 2 and follow that up with some Temper. Bonk goes off first. Temper goes off. Kraken, swing, takes the knight down to half health.
That's less bad than it could have been.
Yeah, Invis 2 goes off. That's going to help. We just saw Disaster Melee. How are we countering this? With Cure 3. And we're going to swing Mazza. 2 hits, 21 damage. Cure 3 goes off.
Black Mage is clearly the best.
A single hit out of Excal for 90 damage. That's a lot of damage that this Kraken has not taken so far.
Yeah, well, we've seen it has pretty high evasion, clearly in the 200s.
3 hits for 297, but crits out of Kraken, and down goes the Knight. Cure 3 and Fast bounce off the corpse. Desperation Time. Out comes Fade, and some Lightning 3. Lightning 3 goes off for 67. Fade goes out. We got our turn order. 120, Kraken's still there. The Black Mage isn't. And there's a reset.
I'd have given that one more fade. I would have given that one more fade. If you got through, you win.
I haven't seen that White Wizard spellbook. I am wondering if life exists on it.
Okay, that would be... Davos is saying that there is not life. Yeah, this is definitely a Lock or Lock 2 Kraken. Each of our players now know that. Let's see if either of them use that information to get through the speed bump. I disagree, Artea, but I understand your argument.
Everything would be fine if we just had, you know, Nuke and Fade and Life 2 and Speed and Power.
And Max Evade, and also some lock casts.
Yeah, you know, just everything. Just pile up everything and do it efficiently.
Yeah.
Grendylicious back on Lich 2's floor. Gonna see if we can jump Speed Bump Mark 2. Get a good running start. Here
Taking
we
out
go.
some Gurmadusas with some Fire 3, getting some XP.
Sure.
Getting back to level 36 on sets.
Yep. Levels will definitely help. Ever so slightly more accuracy for that disaster of a Kraken 2 if we should go with lock strats. Here we
These
go.
Gasties are going down pretty fast with the Mazza and the X-Scout.
Speed Bump Mark 2. We fast, we swing. Away goes the Lich.
Away goes the Lich.
I agree, Grendy. There was nothing there. As DemonRHK is taking gas D fights.
I'd be taking gas D fights here as well. I also probably then would exit out, save, and redive.
Mhm.
Having seen that Kraken, I would be wanting to push closer to level 30.
The nuke was, I think, the big fixer for that. I think the key to that fight is Knight goes on defense casts and Black Mage goes on nuke. I think that's the only way the party is getting through that with both of them still up, potentially.
For Grendy's party, yeah, I think that is a solid approach.
Mhm.
Another arguable approach would be to just resign that the Black Mage is going to die, get the fast off, get the locks off, and he'll die when he dies, but I don't think, while doing 3 defenses, but I don't think that that's the approach he's going to take, given that he went and prioritized that nuke.
Sure.
And I don't even know that that approach is better, it's just an alternate approach.
Right.
Nuking down the waters, since he's wiped 2 them before.
I like not wanting to take any chances with this encounter and not wanting to get, like, messed up by the RNG trying to run away.
Yep. And he doesn't have Ice 3, so nuke is the next best option.
Right.
But it does mean no nuke charges, not having those nuke charges
Right.
for later. They rolled some HP on them.
That is a lot of hit points on those waters.
Yeah, it was.
And DemonRHK headed in, forced to do a little bit of last-minute healing before he talks to Topher's greeter.
When you greet people with nuclear, you're more than a greeter. Kraken's floor is a big reinforced concrete wall, says Starman Zero.
It really is. This is the nightmare scenario for Grendy's 2-man strat. This is the thing that you gamble against happening when you commit to 2-man. But, having said that, I think he has the tools to make it through.
Also, like, Grendy's fighter has sufficiently more hit than Lonk does.
Right.
And so that can actually be a real benefit in getting through that Kraken, since it should take 3, not 2 hits to kill him, and once you start getting defense charges up, better than that, and DemonRHK goes down.
Good news, we found out that Lich also has a spell list. It starts with Zap.
Yeah. So, what's that about Lich being a greeter?
Once again, he healed in front of Lich 2. You never show weakness in front of the doormat. You just run right over him.
And super fast, so he's taken the line that I suggested. I like it.
was a big hit, but we did get that first defense off. We're going to go for a second defense, and how about some temper?
Yep. He's resigning. The Sets is probably going to die in this, but we're going to get through the fight, and then...
That was a big crit.
That was a big crit.
That was also a big crit.
3 hit 610 is big, and the miss there is big.
Ooh, this might get there.
Come on,
4 hits for 980. Down goes
and
Kraken
Sets
2.
is still alive. This is the best timeline for Grindy.
This is the best scenario.
On Kraken's corpse.
Yeah.
Like one does.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't accidentally press left while doing the victory dance.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, so we found our level 7 life 2. That will be helpful. And we found our level 7 nuke. That will also be helpful.
And Grindy immediately gets attacked by the waters that have wiped him before.
Oh boy. Oh, we got out.
Call. We're out.
And more
and
encounters.
Fight. Run, run.
The water floor refuses to let go.
And we've seen new territory. We are on a new floor.
Here we go.
Coming up on Tia. Let's see how he approaches this one. Does he defense or does he immediately go
We're at sub 20 heal pots. We have to get this fight over as fast as we can. The fast goes off. Incoming swing. The Black Mage is still there. Outgoing damage. 10 hits for 530. We need more power.
I agree. I agree with every move that Grindy just made in this
Second
fight.
swing. 11 hits, 358. We're on to Chaos.
Oh, that feels good. Now you've only got to make it past the Whiz Vamps and then one more fight. And this is your first win, Grindy. Can you pull it off? Can you get through? Oh, and the worms too.
You're not supposed to say there's stuff in the way. They gotta find it on their own.
I blinked what happened to Tia 2. Tia 2 took like 800 followed by 1100 to the face.
I think 800 HP max. But generally, yeah, it was two big wharfs, and down went Tia 2. Here we go.
All right, you got this. Finish strong, get your first win. We believe in you.
Grendylicious versus Chaos in 2 hours, 40 minutes. We're gonna start with some swing and some fast. Swing goes out first. 3 hits, 157. There's some agility going on, but not that much. Incoming damage, 189. That's a little awkward.
That's not so bad.
Ink does ink things. Temper goes off first. We got our good turn order. Swing. 7 hits for 549. We need more of that. Some more temper. Some more good turn order. Swing. 8 hits for 963. Gren took a lot of damage in there. Ooh, incoming nuke, but both of them survive it. Fast. We already cast fast. Swing. 6 hits for 1,119. Chaos is still present.
3k HP on this Chaos.
7 hits, 1,064. Chaos is still present.
Chaos. Oh my gosh. That's near max HP Chaos.
But with a 244 nuke, down goes Grendylicious.
No,
GG.
down goes Chaos.
Dang.
Not Grindy. Grindy made it. Grindy made it out. GG, Grindy.
I got so nervous. Alright, I'm not gonna lie.
241.20. Grindy gets his first win under his belt. Chaos is done. The time loop has been restored.
That was exciting. I got super nervous.
That was exciting. Are you going to get Grindy in here for us to talk to him?
Sure. Let's see if we can make that happen.
A winner is you. That's what the game says.
Yeah, a winner is him. You know what? A winner is totally him. And we are now joined in the booth by our first place finisher, Grendylicious. GG, man. How was that? Grendy, Grendy, if you're saying things, your mic may be muted.
Okay.
we'll give Grendylicius a minute to sort out some possible technical difficulties as we've got DemonRHK continuing to stomp down Topher. We used our shiny new Life 2 spells getting through that Zappy Lich 2.
Is that working?
Hey,
we got
Grindy!
Grendylicious. GG, man.
Yeah, GG.
Oh, thank you.
So, how was the seed?
It wasn't bad until Kraken punched me in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, Kraken 2 doing Kraken 2 things was painful.
Yeah. So, tell me about your party. You committed hard out of the gate to Fighter Black Mage 2-man.
I've been watching a lot of Artea stream, and he does it all the time. And he's answered a lot of my questions about the run, so I've been trying it out lately, and it's been working-ish. So I decided to go with it.
Awesome. I think that you've made some fans today. The way that you played this as such a new player with that party has been really fun to watch, and a lot of people in chat were really rooting for you.
Well, that's good, because I thought I was playing really bad.
So, tell me about your routing in general. Because we saw basically route divergence, where you ended up heading toward Ice Cave, whereas DemonRHK headed towards the northern continent. What gravitated you towards Ice Cave?
Probably just an incentive item, and I had warp, so I thought I could get it quick and hopefully make it through the rest of it, which wasn't happening with that trap tile that was right in front of after going down the hole.
Yeah, you had quite a lot of unfortunate trap tiles, like the Scums with Blaze, and then the unrunnable Gasties. It was a little painful to watch, I gotta admit.
It was a little painful to deal with.
So, you're 1-0. Going into next week, I gotta ask, is there a certain person that you kind of really don't want to go up against, and is there a certain incentive week you'd really prefer to have?
It really doesn't matter who I go up against. I didn't expect to win this one, even. And incentive weeks... now they're all about the same to me.
Alright.
What about the inverse? Is there anyone you're excited to play against?
Everybody. I just started playing recently. It looked like a lot of fun after watching the 2019 spring tournament matches. And I'm just excited to actually play with people that are playing this. It's fun that way.
Well, A, it is a lot of fun, and B, we're excited to have you playing along with us.
Yeah, you put on a fantastic show. Like, I was legit excited and gushing for multiple parts of it.
It's true. I highly encourage you to watch it back. It was definitely a fun watch. It'll be... Even though you guys both went with open party, you ended up taking the same party. You obviously then went two-man with it, while DemonRHK left everyone up for it. But seeing the differences in approaches has just been really fun, and I think it'd be a fun watch back.
I'm definitely going to watch it, because I'm sure you guys had plenty to say about what I was doing.
We did, but...
We had a lot of good things to say, and we had a lot of tips. Let me just leave it at that.
Kraken 2 takes out Hurt on the left side of the screen as we're talking to Grindy.
Demon's doing really good with this Kraken 2 fight.
Fighter goes down, but we've got the Thief as a backup, and Thief terminates. If Heal still has charges of Life 2 left, he's probably going to get through the seed, even though we had a max HP Chaos. Yeah, we've got everyone up. That Tia was not scary, and that Chaos, except for the max HP, was not very scary.
And then we get ambushed by 2 Naga 6 Water.
Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. I was only thinking of the fiends, not the fights.
You got to remember the Curse Tarn, and it's a power that should only be used sparingly.
This whole ability to curse things, people, is new to me.
So DemonRHK rounds the corner and is headed towards Tia 2.
Healing up before the fight, like to see it. There we saw in that Kraken 2 fight kind of the difference between the 2-man versus the 4-man, that when the fighter and the Black Mage went down, the ninja was still there to finish off the fight, and having that resilience to be able to take a fight where, on Grindy's side, when Kraken 2 took out a party member, it was a linchpin and a reset was over. So kind of the difference in the two approaches they're showing. Tiamat hit the ninja for half the ninja's health. The fade goes out, fast lands. We then think about our actions for a while. And we go with a Cure 3 to make sure that the ninja stays up, and another Temper on the fighter. Fighter gets in there for 500 damage. Cure 3 lands. And then the White Mage goes down to 20 hit points remaining. Temper lands. 20 hit points remaining is more than 0. Lands on the ninja that would have died without the heal 3, without the Cure 3, and Tia 2 goes down. And it sounds like we lost Grindy, so sorry if I was talking over that. Just wanted to give Demon a call.
No, that was a good call, and definitely GG to Grindy. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the interview. We'll definitely see him next week. Meanwhile, we've got DemonRHK healing up, getting ready for his own fight with the big bad fiend of elements himself. I almost called him the Fiend of Chaos. That would have been really awkward.
Yeah, I might have to try to watch Grindy's match next week, see how that goes.
Yeah.
And we're pulling Chaos for the second time this race. Healing up before Chaos, and then over 4k hit point Chaos is nothing to sneeze at, but hopefully we'll be able to get through with this.
We know there's over 4,000 hit points, and we know that there is a nuke in the spell list. Those are the two big problems we have to overcome. Let's see what Demon's solution to it is.
And Demon, unfortunately, does not yet know those things that we know.
Yeah. It's a terrible burden, being cursed with this knowledge. Here we go. Let's begin. We're going to start with some Bonk. How about some White Shirt? Follow that up with some Invis 2. And we're going to use our last fast charge on the Knight. Invis 2 goes off. Fast goes off. Hits the Knight. Chaos opens with Nuke. That's big, big numbers. Down goes the Black Mage altogether. The second White Shirt goes off.
Did the Black Mage get the fast off?
The Black Mage did get the fast off, but we have bigger problems.
Good job.
We're going to try a White Shirt. We're going to go with some Heal 3. Out goes Swinging Excal. 7 hits for 413. Going to need a lot more than that. Heal 3 goes off. What's the next spell or skill Chaos has? It's Ink. Ink does Ink things. We're going to try some Fight. And we're going to consider tempering. The ninja is going to temper. We're going to temper that Knight up to hit as hard as it possibly can. Meanwhile, the White Mage is going to continue on Heal 3. Swing. 4 hits there. 355. More Ink. Doing more Ink things. Heal 3 goes off. These are badly needed buffer rounds to patch up our health. Temper goes off. Next round, we're going to try Swing. We're going to dump these temper charges while we got them. We've only got 2 Heal 3 charges left, but we're going to use it. Fire 3 goes off. Almost 100 to the Knight. Swing. 6 hits for 813. That's the right direction. Temper goes off. Next round, we're going to fight.
Got another 2,500 hit points to work through, though.
Temper will be cast. Cure 4 will be cast. Swing. 6 hits for 683. That's pretty good. Fire 3 comes in, dealing more damage to the White Mage this time. The White Mage is in the danger area.
Yeah, but that Knight's healed back up.
We gotta continue the outgoing damage. Heal 3 goes off first. That's gonna help the White Mage in case anything bad happens. Slow 2 hits the Knight. That is a disaster.
That is a disaster.
3 hits for 355 out of the Excal. The white mage is running low on resources. Are we going to do Cure 3s, or are we going to use one of the valuable Cure 4s? We're going to stick with Cure 3s for now. Incoming Inferno does a lot to the knight. Good thing we're hitting it with a Cure 3. Swing. 2 hits for 263. That's nah. As the ninja goes 4 hits. Cure 3 goes off. We're healing the knight back up to full. Excal swing. 4 hits, 539. Thunder goes off. Tons of damage to that ninja. Ninja retaliates. 3 hits, 170. Next round. Double fight. We gotta use the Cure 4 on that ninja. But the white mage goes down. No more healing available to us. But 2 hits for 361. Down goes Chaos. DemonRHK finishes with an official SRL time. 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 34 seconds.
Oh, I was nervous for you there, Demon.
Hot dang.
Nervous. You got there. Good job, man. Good job.
Demon will be around momentarily for an interview. That was a ride. Like
that was a ride of a race.
Oh,
from two great new players showing different approaches, good things on both sides, some room for improvement on both sides for sure. A Topher that just wouldn't quit. And Demon's up in general, if you want to pull him down.
And we're joined in the booth by DemonRHK. GG, man. That was a ride.
Oh, I never want to see this seat again, man.
Why don't you talk us through how you feel that way, Demon?
So, here's going to be something interesting. So, on my first of the 5 attempts to drag Adamant out of Sea Shrine, I was back to the first floor, and I was almost out. I was in the middle of yet another unrunnable, whiz-hag encounter. And all of a sudden, I couldn't do anything. And I look in the background, and something had popped up in the background. So I clicked off it, clicked back on, and all of a sudden, my black mage decided he wanted to melee instead of ice too. And then I wiped out.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So that, and then, let's see, I think I wiped to... Yeah, Frost. I never want to see the spell Frost again. I think I wiped to that twice going in, trying to drag the cube out of waterfall. Once or twice in the 5 Destined Sea Shrine. Tried to see about an early Earth, and just couldn't find anything of value, though I got to come back later for the Opal Armor, I guess.
So, before the race started, we noticed that there was a little bit of a discussion about, like, do you want to draft, do you not want to draft, like, what do we want to go through this? It ended up you both wanted to take Open Party, and you both took the same party. Talk us a bit about this party and what attracted it to you.
So, I'm kind of a new runner. I've been literally running one rando for less than a week. So, my first few seeds, I was running double fighter black-white. And a lot of that is I take black-white because I don't want to have to mess around with, so this slot I can't put on my red mage yet until it gets to a red wizard because it's in like the 3rd slot or the 1st slot. So I just say, forget all that. I'm taking white and black. They can learn pretty much everything.
Sure.
Double fighter, I found it was good, but it was redundant. If I took a thief instead, I could get some black magic post-promotion, as well as having better chances to run in the early game. So I just take one beat stick, one kind of mediocre beat stick, and a couple of casters and go at it. It's just what works for me so far, and I'm probably going to start trying to change it up as the weeks go on if I get more people who want to do open, but it is what it is.
So, you two were really close. For most of the race.
90 minutes, it was impossible to say that either of you had a lead.
The one big route divergence we had is where you ended up heading towards Ordeals, whereas your opponent instead headed off towards Ice Cave. Talk us through your decision on what attracted you to the northern continent versus headed for Ice Cave.
A lot of it was that I didn't want to dive Ice Cave without Warp, and I ended up having to piece out of Ice Cave once I did go, because I realized I forgot to pick it up. And I know that I just didn't want to get drug around heading in there. I wanted to check some other stuff too. I knew Sea Shrine was incentivized. I knew Ordeals, realistically, is a pretty easy dive as long as you don't run into something crazy and unrunnable.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt like the value was going to be a lot more north. I've been trying to go north a lot more rather than head back into Volcano Sea Shrine. Although this time Volcano had both of the loose items.
Yeah, both of them indeed.
Sure did. So,
But other than the millions of unrunnables, and I don't know, I still think I had a good shot. I was worried up until about an hour 45, and I realized both loose key items were the ones that you needed for progression. So I figured, okay, I don't feel as bad now. But I think if I had done a couple of things differently, specifically if I went and picked up Life 2 before my first Topher dive, and I would have been able to maybe keep up the ninja who died like 2 floors in,
Yeah.
I might have had a shot.
Yeah, that run would have gone a lot deeper, I think, if you had picked up the Life 2.
So, going into next week, you're 0-1. There's 6 weeks of Swiss. There's more than enough time to rack up some wins. What's one thing that you think you can take away from this seed to try and make future races easier?
I think I just need to clean up I think I let nerves get to me. I need to clean it up a little bit. I had a couple times where I didn't save, and a couple times where I lost myself. Like, I'm halfway to a room to go check a treasure box. I get an encounter, I come out, and I just go, wait, did I go in there or not yet? I think I did that once or twice in Earth and a couple of other places. And probably just learning little bit more about a combination of enemy abilities and what I can do to counteract. There was nothing like doing my first Nacho grind in Earth and then running 2 encounters later into a troll who just proceeded to zap down everybody with the white mage.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, those trolls were in fact trolly. They lived up to their name well.
But no, I think just slowly playing some more. Like I said, this is I think the 4th or 5th seed I've actually completed, and like I said, I've been playing
Nice.
doing seeds since Tuesday. That's when I finished my first seed. So I think
That's
it's just going to be a little bit more about just getting experience and knowing a little bit more about how enemies work, so I'm not just beating my face off of diving the same thing 6 or 7 times to death.
So, a couple things that I want to share. Thing one, I absolutely advise going back and watching this race. I think that there was a lot of things to learn from your play and from your opponent's play, and having 2 players of similar newness to the game was really, really fascinating to watch. So I would absolutely go back and watch it. One piece of feedback that I would give is equip your armor.
Yeah, I had a couple times where I was without the armor equipped pre-death, and by the time I got it not all equipped, it was too late anyway. But
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, you had a number of wipes that was kind of the pin in it.
Yeah, I think that was responsible for a couple of the sea shrines. It's like I dove down, got the pro cape, and then proceeded not to put it on for the way back out.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tarnan, do you have any other questions?
No, really fun match. Nice showcase of two of our ducklings, getting their first matches, and they paired against each other. Same party, very, very different approaches. A fun seed with all sorts of awful trolley awfulness. Yeah, just absolutely a great experience, and I wish nothing but the best to both DemonRHK and Grendylicius.
All right, we're gonna move on to final thoughts and close this up real quick. Demon, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I actually, yeah, I gotta say that it's nice after having a couple of probably very nice test seeds and practice seeds to see the ugly head of FF1 Randomizer rear its head so that I have an idea what it can do. And I just want to thank you guys and everybody. You guys have been crazy restreaming every match even here in week 1, and for commentating, tracking, all the stuff you guys do. Thanks a lot.
Tarnan, any other final thoughts?
No, just what I said. Thanks to you, Fizzle, for throwing me in the bus and making me do this. Thanks to both of our runners for putting on a great show. Thanks to everyone in chat for coming out. I don't know how many of you are still here and how many of you have left, but thanks for coming out and watching and supportive and being engaged. Thanks to Randomania for giving us this platform. Thanks to the people who organized the tournament.
All right, and I think Tarnan basically covered everything for me. Big thanks to Randomania. Big thanks to Tarnan for being brave enough to climb into the booth with me. This was so much fun, dude. We got to do this again.
Sure.
Big thanks to the unspoken hero of the race, Avos, not only as the person responsible for this, but also as our tracker extraordinaire. For everyone here and for everyone on the FFR Discord, my name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see you for a couple really good races that we have coming our way tomorrow. We have at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have Will Bloodworth versus Demarine. That's going to be on Speed Gaming. At 6 p.m., we have Guelph35 versus MathGirl718. That's also going to be on Speed Gaming. But right here on Randomania, at 10 p.m., we're going to have Leggy Starscream versus Lord of the Synth. Be sure to keep an eye out for those tomorrow.
Leggy versus Synth is going to be fun.
And for everyone here, my name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see you next time.